Cool. Uh, sorry, I just seen the honor counter in the middle of the ring. 18 times in one session. Okay, let's beat that.
No. That's total so far.
Oh, total so far.
The total.
In
Total
character
is 18.
times, honor has been mentioned. In character times, honor has been mentioned, or the DM has
Okay.
referred to it outside of the mechanic. DM.
Then let's recap on the last session. So the party was split for a little while. Kuro spent some time in the city looking for some leads on what might have happened to the old man on the ship. He ended up playing a game of Go with an old man in a restaurant who subtly told him it was maybe time for him to leave town. Kuro took the hint and decided to head south of the city, which is where the rest of the party had headed to meet a Mantis. A Mantis sea captain who had been ignoring the enforced sort of like the gang in the city have been enforcing that no ships are allowed to leave. This one Mantis ship has been ignoring that and has set up dock a few miles south of the city on a beach, which is where the three other characters went to. Kurokami met the woman of his prophesized dreams. It caused a little bit of tension with the captain of the ship. Bring up my notes. Yoritomo Dancer is the captain of the ship. He also has eyes for this lady, who happens to be his first mate and a Shugenja of the Moshi family. So a few things happened. He went and had a conversation with the captain, who talked about how he'd seen Kaito leave the city and disappear somewhere with his bodyguard, and that he wouldn't be surprised if he found him strung up from the tree. But he also mentioned that the gang in the city, the non-Yakuza, the Yoshimura, have been doing deals with Gaijin ships for a while, illegally, because the only places in the Empire allowed to deal with Gaijin vessels are the Mantis Isles. Hence the children that you've seen in the tea house with the unusual features for Rokugan. And a Gaijin ship should be arriving into port in the next couple of days, and that you, as Emerald Magistrates, would enforce the Imperial law upon the lawbreakers. But that the deal would be that you wouldn't harm any of the Gaijin sailors involved, as that could create further tensions for the Mantis clan. Kurokami asked to speak with the first mate in private. That was a romantic and intense conversation where he gave up his family sword and an oath to protect and serve Lady Moshi. While Kisho kept the captain distracted, talked him out of putting a knife between Kurokami's ribs, in exchange for helping hand over the city to the Mantis clan when all was said and done. While Shiru left the ship to go for a walk along the beach and caught a glimpse of some men waiting in ambush for a unknown traveller who turned out to be Kuro on his way to the Mantis vessel to rendezvous with the rest of the party. They very quickly killed two of them and sent the last one back in tears after having pissed himself to go tell his masters that their time was pretty much up and that the Emerald Magistrate will indeed be coming for them. And we left off the last session with the sun setting on the sea, with the fated lovers walking across the beach, but with the ominous silhouette of a Gaijin vessel off on the horizon. And that brings us into the session where you guys have essentially 2 days of downtime to get your stuff together in preparation for this Gaijin ship coming into dock and the Mantis vessel that you're currently at, taking you to the city to deal with the whole situation and to blockade that ship from leaving. So,
First time that I've ever had my stuff organized enough where I can like readily access during the session. Isn't that nice? Is there a page that talks about downtime activity?
is there a page that talks about downtime?
Hold on.
I don't know if there is.
Ooh, asking Chuck is like asking a library.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nah.
Well, what I've skimmed through so far, there doesn't seem to be anything really that talks about downtime activity.
Nah, there's no section related to downtime in the book. It's just a case of you guys can tell me what you're going to be doing over the next 2 days. If any of it jumps out as particularly important roleplay moments, then we'll play it out. If not, then we'll skip the 2 days and we'll get right into the action. So we'll start with Kisho. What are you intending to do over the next 2 days that you've got to
Why gotta put me in the fucking spot like that? So, over the next 2 days, first off, your boy's gonna write a letter. Your boy is gonna write a letter, and it is going to be requesting a Yojimbo.
Okay.
So that is going to be happening for Kisho, as well as he is going to reach out to his contact he's made in the city about getting some poison.
Okay. So you're going to try and acquire some poison and
Yep.
send a letter out.
Yep.
to-
Either acquire some poison or acquire the ingredients to make poison. Either one.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, you're done.
As well as try to find a gift.
A gift.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take a few rolls from you.
Okay.
Let me just bring up your character sheet and the skills section. So give me a calligraphy roll. First of all.
Oh.
Good. And so you've very neatly and elegantly penned all the letters involved in this situation. The Yojimbo, the one to the Bayushi family, or well, the Scorpion clan in general, will probably take a bit of time to reach its intended.
Yep.
You guys are like way down here. And the Scorpion lands are quite away north.
It'll be a bit.
It'll be a bit. Almost as far north as where you guys set off from in the first place.
Yep.
So probably a few weeks, and then a few weeks more to get your reply. The city though it's closer, and maybe about halfway through the second day is when a young boy arrives with a small satchel containing a few ingredients that on their own might not seem suspicious.
Yep.
But you know that when mixed in the correct amounts, they can produce a rudimentary poison.
Okay.
Be it enough that you could ask for these items without raising any eyebrows, unless it's someone who's well trained in the art of creating poison.
Yep.
But to most people would just kind of seem everyday.
Yeah.
So for that, I need a roll as well.
All right. What can I roll?
Crafts.
Okay.
The low skill version of craft.
Yep.
Because you're making poison. I'm assuming you're doing this out of sight of any of your
Oh
companions.
god, yes.
Yep. So you're not going to risk losing any honor here.
No, this is very much Hisho. Those 2 days pretty much spends his time like almost entirely away from everybody. Every now and then he checks back in with the captain, but the 2 days he pretty much just spends like as a ghost.
Yeah, then I'm going to need your craft roll.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, baby.
I find poison in the book. I should have expected you to make poison because you put points into the skill.
Where'd that go? 332.
332.
I'm guessing this is something you do away from us, right?
Oh yeah, no. Hisho, like I said, the 2 days of downtime, you guys pretty much don't see him.
So what method are you intending in using the poison? Is it to be ingested or?
It is to be ingested.
Okay, so dripping poison probably. Should
Yep.
the first one there. And you beat that crafty in easily. So yeah, you have a dose of dripping poison, and page 3. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Bang on 332.
Yep.
Gives you all the information that you need for that.
Then can I add one more task for those 2 days?
Yep.
I'd like to spread some gossip.
Okay. And the city or amongst the crew?
In the city.
Okay. So that's a courtier role. And as a Bayushi, you get benefits to that. Is that right? Your
Yes.
skill technique?
I think. Let me look at my classes or my school as well. Hold on. I think some shit comes into play that way too. No, we're just gonna do the roll as I didn't prepare that. So
Bayushi, courtier.
that's still good enough, 29.
Yep.
I'd like it to get
You-
going around that there are apparently more Emerald Magistrates on the way, and that there will essentially be a cleansing of the city.
Okay, so you as a Bayushi, you can bump the effectiveness of that rumor up with a 3 raise.
Oh yeah.
A Bayushi, you get a 3 raise to gossip spreading and.
Oh hell yeah. Then I will take that.
Yeah, so you start. Maybe start with the contact that you've made in the brothels, who then
Yep.
sort of spread it around the Ronin, who then pass it on to the Yoshimura, and it sort of spreads by like wildfire around the city. There are probably notable effects of that. The clan samurai who recite or who are currently in the city probably feel a wee bit more confident in confronting the Yoshimura more often. Thinking that a large amount of Emerald Magistrates are going to be there shortly to get their backs, essentially. Which will help you in the event that's about to happen. Cool. And we'll just work our way around the circle there. So, Shiro, what are you wanting to do over the 2 days?
So I would like to send a letter back home to my wife to be, just kind of explaining in low detail, kind of grand scope of what's kind of transpired so far, and just your typical niceties and misuse and all that type of stuff.
Yours is more personal. It's not like a formal request or anything like that, so you don't need to make a calligraphy roll, but you're going to spend a bit of time, making sure that you don't reveal anything that you shouldn't be revealing, and that you express yourself in a way that your wife is going to appreciate.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to stay on top of my techniques and stuff, you know, so probably a little bit of training. And then I would probably be open. I'll just leave the rest of my time open in case somebody else wanted to do something collectively with me.
Cool.
That's it.
Writing letters, practicing kata.
Yeah.
Cool. Kuro, anything that you'd like to do over the 2 days?
Yeah, so I'm writing 3 letters. I'm writing one to my uncle, and I'm basically giving him a brief rundown of what's currently happening in the city. I feel like that he would like to know that very important information. I'm not writing it playing out like, oh, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, blah blah blah. I'm more so writing it in like a small militaristic code, just like, yeah, this is what's going on, like this, so on and so forth. Sort of like, military for phonetic alphabet, similar of that nature.
Okay.
I'm writing to my parents, miss you. I'm doing great things. I got a son.
You guys, I got a
just
10-year-old
just
now.
just like I'm listening to, like, all this big stuff. Just, I have a son. Like, I glanced over it. Just, I have a son now. Glance over it, talking about all the things I'm doing, people I killed, so on and so forth. Like, that's it. I just mentioned my son. That's it. Everything else is glossed over. I don't know how my parents are going to react. Deal with that later. And then my third and final letter is going to be to my unknown fiance, saying stuff about duty, honor. I have a son, more duty, more honor. I'm gonna let her know that the son is adopted. However, that way she doesn't think I'm running around. She's gonna have a little bit more context clues than my parents. It's an adopted son,
Love it.
and then for the rest of the time, I'm gonna spend my time with Akira. I'm gonna bandage up my wounds too while we're at it, making sure I'm not hurt. Um, but the rest of my time is just spent with Akira, training him, giving him physical exercises, teaching him how to fish. Father son time, We're bonding through
Right, so
physical exercises.
for the letters, 2 out of 3, you don't really need a calligraphy roll for. For your uncle, I'm going to need a calligraphy roll for that. Of which Kuro is unskilled, so if anyone wants to spend channel points to help him out.
I can't write. I only know the sword. Listen,
It's just a letter with the word A on it.
Spend them souls.
listen, for 1,000, you can help a small warrior in need.
1,000 souls. That's like, what, 4 hours? Come on.
Oh, I got an 18.
Yeah, okay.
See, not terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, puncturum.
Aim.
Helping
Came with it.
helping a homie out.
Punk. Thank you. I will make sure to pay those souls back. I'll remember this. Those women and children are not gonna need.
Yeah, so that can
I
add an
put
extra-
one into it and then make it a train, or what you want me to do?
Yeah, put 1 in it, make it trend. Hey, there we go.
Nice.
It's a little bit better. Cool. Then, yeah, you're able to encode your letter in a way that gets some key points to your uncle. There are repercussions for that.
That's fine.
Oh boy. We're keeping these couriers busy.
Right?
Well, you're keeping them well
Wonder-
paid. And Kikita Kurokami, what are you doing over the 2 days?
Is Lady Moshi here?
Yeah, of course she is. She's the first mate of the ship. So,
Oh.
Is she allowed to leave the ship?
she can go a little bit away from the ship.
How far is a little bit away from the shed? Not suggesting we run away together. I'm not. I'm saying, like, can she go into the town with me?
She can. Yep.
I want to take her to a nice restaurant.
Wine and
Are you
dine.
taking her to the yakisoba shop that I took you guys?
No, I'm
Hero's
taking
just like,
her
no, this
to
is mine.
a nice. What would the nicest type of establishment in the town be for people to go to? I know that that's not really something that they do, but in theory, where's somewhere that you might take someone?
Like a high-end tea house would probably be somewhere that you would take someone important.
I'm sorry, my wife was berating me for treating my fantasy girlfriend better than her. What was that?
Yeah, a fancy like a high-end tea house would probably be where you would take someone.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Can I do a awareness roll to see if I think she'd be the kind of person that would be impressed by tea ceremony, or would she not be into that and would just rather chill?
Maybe a etiquette roll.
An etiquette roll.
Yeah.
Etiquette roll. Wow.
Yeah. Well, maybe not as impressed as a Crane would maybe be with being taken to a tea house, and to a tea ceremony in particular. She would appreciate the gesture. But the Mantis clan aren't as heavy on tradition and etiquette as Craner. They're a little rougher around the edges. The Moshi family are a little bit more exact, being mostly like members of the priesthood, but yeah, she'd appreciate it, but it wouldn't be the most impressive thing that you probably do.
Oh, snap.
I was trying to get this up on the map so we can see what the Moshi looks like.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh. Look at them lips. Oh, they're gone.
That's fantastic.
Mhm.
So
She's map sized.
He's map sized. Yeah, I guess sensing that that's totally not her vibe. After, waiting the respectable amount of time in the establishment, I'd be like, whatever the respectable way to say you want to get out of here is.
Yeah. She's happy to leave the tea house. And head to wherever you want to go after that.
I tell her that the next day I have errands to run, but maybe if she would like to go hunting with Shinigami, teach her how we do things.
Yeah, that seems a little bit more appealing to her. What are the errands that you need to run the following day? I also noticed that it still says session 4 for the.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, the errands that you're going to be doing, what are they?
I needed to buy some arrows.
Okay. Well.
So the books get armor piercing flesh cutter, humming bulb, which don't seem like something to care about. Rope cutter or willow leaf. What?
Yeah.
Sounds like I don't know anything about I mean, I know what the things mean, but I don't know what. I don't know.
Willow leaf arrows are your standard arrows. That's the one that you probably already got 20 of
Hmm.
with you. Armor piercing arrows don't do as much damage, but they have a heavier sort of head on them that can punch through armor plate. While flesh cutter arrows do more damage to unarmed opponents, but they don't fire quite as far, and they struggle to actually get through armor as well.
I think I'm going to purchase. Jesus, is 5 boo? That's silver or copper?
God, let me find the money section again.
That's what I had trouble finding, like in any of the books.
It's definitely in the core book somewhere.
Here we go. Economics.
What page is that on?
47.
47. Yeah, it doesn't even tell you in there.
No. It's just a wall of text that says that we don't normally sell ourselves with money.
Yep.
Well, I can't really go back to the Daidoji estates, can I?
No.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to sully myself with money.
I think Coca. That's what I'm
Even-
trying to do. And
Yeah,
it's still
Google still doesn't come up. Like I grab like the merchant book and they just don't talk about it. Like it just keeps going back to you don't sully yourself with money.
Boo could be broken down into 10 copper, known as zenny. So boo is
Okay.
silver.
Yeah, so I think it's
So what are
five-
Boo, Zenny, and Koku?
there's 5
Any-
boo. I found it here.
Is that in the book?
No, I found it for Google.
Fucking Google,
Uh,
god damn it.
Yeah, one Koku can be exchanged
Oh,
for 5
thank you,
boo,
Punk.
and 1 boo can be exchanged for 10 zenny.
Okay, so
Punk with a win. He found the coin breakdown in the book.
I'm going to,
Nice.
I guess, 20. Nah, I'm gonna do 10. I'm gonna do 10 of each. What would that be?
10 of each arrow.
Of the flesh cutter and armor piercer.
Let me bring up the prices then.
Flesh cutter, armor piercer.
Be 20 boo for the armor piercing, and be 50 boo for the flesh cutter. So that would be a total of 70 boo. It's 5 to a koku, right?
Yep.
So if we do 70 divided by 5,
35. No, that's half.
14. Ooh, that's 14 koku. I changed my mind. I
Maybe go
will
for one or the other.
buy 2 flesh cutter and 5 armor pierce.
Yeah.
Okay. -2.
Yeah, so you find Fletcher in the city to buy some arrows. And you've got 20 willow leaf ones already, so you've got plenty of arrows.
Do I need to worry about special arrows for hunting, or can I just use regular arrows?
I'd just use
Oh,
right.
Jinko added one keep one for bartering.
Oh. I don't know if you can
Get
barter in this
you.
game, and I don't know if that. I don't think that I would barter. To be honest with you, I don't think that I would barter. I think I would just pay the price.
Yeah.
What
I read is like almost like an IOU system for it's weird. It's there, but
I could effectively invoke my right as a samurai though to be like, hey, I'm going to be using these to kill people that are plaguing your city. I guess I could do that. I'm gonna do
Also, as
that.
an
I'm gonna
Emerald
use that one
Magistrate-
key one for that. Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jinkoy.
You went with the more Chad option.
Hey, we might as well flex that we are official Imperial officials. This is Imperial like.
Would
We
that
might
be
as well.
etiquette?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Normally it would be commerce to try and haggle, but you're using your status.
okay, so I just add 1 to the keep, right?
Yep.
1 to the roll and 1 to the keep, or just 1 to the keep?
1 to both.
1 to both. Okay, and then I make a roll like cow 26.
Yeah.
And those back down.
Then we will half those prices for you.
In that case, I'll take double.
So 4 flesh cutting arrows and
10 armor.
10 armor piercing. Yeah.
And
I'm sorry, I
Yes.
just found that.
and while we're at it, I'm gonna get how many arrows? I'm just gonna get another 10 willow, which would be 5 boo. So I'm gonna go ahead and subtract 1
Another
more of
cobra.
the, and make sure that I put 8. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I go to meet with my lady and change this for in this.
Okay, so you're going hunting with Lady Moshi, then give me a hunting roll.
Hey. Oh, I'm not trained in hunting. I use Shinigami for that.
Then Shinigami can give me a hunting roll.
Yeah, he gives a trained roll. He has emphasis on tracking. So, does he get anything special for that?
Yeah, so we'll track first. So we're going to track some prey first. Okay, so
Ooh.
you and Lady Moshi go out into the sort of plains around here, or across the bridge to the stretch of forest. It takes you into the lands of the Kitsu clan, or former Kitsu clan. Technically, those are Mantis lands. It's the Kitsu family are now clan are now part of the Mantis clan. To go hunting. Both wolves catch the scent of something and sort of dash into the sort of woods to chase after it. Can you give me another hunting roll to see if they catch their prey?
I wanted him to flush it out so that I could then shoot it.
Shoot it. Okay, yeah. So still give me another hunting roll.
Another hunting.
21. Okay, yeah. They eventually flush out a deer, most likely. Some form of like deer or elk. Don't know. There are deer specific to Japan. Yeah, apparently they have a specific Sika deer. But yeah, they drive at a deer, spotted deer, from the tree line. And a Kyujutsu roll from you.
Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Anybody has
Snipe
souls?
it.
Anybody has souls?
Snipe it.
This is gonna matter a lot, I promise. 5, 4, 2. I don't want to hold up for too long. Okay, I'm just gonna make the roll. 23.
Your arrow sort of strikes true into the deer, sort of hitting pretty hard. Can I get a damage roll?
Okay, here we go. The damage roll. That's what we get the one.
Shout out to the chat for all these bonuses. Like,
Fantastic.
Seriously.
Take a
Yeah,
group.
it's crazy.
Right. You made an uneducated lion write a letter.
Okay. Oh, okay. One mod.
Yeah. So your arrow hits the deer, and yeah, you practically take it out in one shot. The arrow hits, and then your wolf is probably on top of it. Keep in mind, within Rokugan society, you guys don't really eat red meat. But the wolves will enjoy that.
I take out my wakizashi, and I know that this is kind of like not really like what I'm supposed to do, but kind of as a breach of protocol to prove a point, I skin the deer with my wakizashi, and I do my best to harvest the antlers for future use, as kind of like a I'll do anything for you. I really don't like all this thing that you see before me. This very sword that is supposed to represent my honor. Exclamation point. Honor.
Dark honor to honor counter.
It doesn't mean anything because it's all for you. And yeah, I skin the deer, take the hide, have it folded up to be cleaned and processed for use in my new weapon.
Okay, your honor's at what at the minute?
It is currently at 8.5.
Oh. It's gonna drop quite a bit.
That's fine.
It's gonna drop by 3 points.
That's okay.
Oh
Let
lord.
the Phoenix have the honor.
Take my crown back.
Give him that crown.
Kisho's sitting there like, what's honor? What?
Honor that or oh, okay. I guess I can pay
Honor?
attention to that.
Oh, just pops up. Honor.
He says this as he's digging through people's stuff.
Kuro did say honor twice earlier, so
Oh,
you need to get that in there.
yeah. So I feel like that is probably the primo amount of sacrifice I can make heading into this relationship, with the promise of great things in the future. As the wolves tear apart the carcass, kind of spend the afternoon talking about what the future might hold. Not necessarily what we know is going to happen, but the good things that we might get to experience before it.
Trying to picture that idealistic life before shit hits the fan.
Perfection.
Cool. Then, if there's nothing else,
Good.
And Andy, real quick, two things.
Yep.
One, how does regaining wounds work
uh,
again for days?
you've had 2 days to recover, and you gain an amount equal to twice your stamina rating back per day.
Okay.
And we also recover a void each day, right?
You get a 5 point back each day as well.
Okay.
The second thing was you said something about me having to make a taint roll.
Oh, yep, got about that. It's
See,
it's a
stamina
it's a,
turns good though.
it's a straight up earth roll,
Earth.
and the target number is 5. Okay, you're okay. You probably have a few, maybe uncomfortable dreams over the next couple of nights. It's not uncommon for you. You have been having bad dreams often since the day a few years back when your father came home for the last time. And he spent some time with you when he was there. But since he's left, you've had bad dreams quite often. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So,
Can I throw in a quick thing as well? I forgot to do.
Yep.
Just a letter to my Damio and a letter to my wife. Damio literally just updating what's going on. To my wife, very uncharacteristically sweet things that nobody will find that Keisho does.
Yep.
Also, very much if somebody intercepted the letter, he could probably get into. He isn't holding back what's going on. He sends most of the same details to her that he does to his Damio.
But not coded or anything like that.
It is coded.
Oh, that's cool. So give me another calligraphy roll.
I'll give you that calligraphy roll.
We just need to have a
23.
Keisha write all my letters.
Yeah, you're
I
alright.
got you. I will. Oh God, phone. Jesus Christ. I will hire out my services. I got you.
Just have Keisha write all of my letters. Kuro pushes Keisha, so hey, I'm not
Teach-
really good
teach
at
me,
writing. Writing had never been my.
Keisho is
I
just
mean,
the group's postmaster.
You've got the perfect cover. Kisho, can you teach Akira to write? And I'll observe.
supervise.
Yes.
Supervise. Just. Oh, okay. Leaning over my kid's shoulder. Oh, okay. That's how you do that.
Right. Then let's get to it.
Can I? Sorry, I'm so sorry, but can I also send a letter? I just realized I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my parents that I met
Yep.
the lady. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's it.
You've been quite open with names and places and who
Oh, yeah.
and where. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Then we can get to it.
Oh wait. I have a thing.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. When we started talking about Akira, I was like, oh wait, I need to figure out how does Akira like me or not. How does my adopted son feel about me? His new crazy father.
That you're new and crazy. Bill slips up and calls you Lord or Master Kodo.
Every time he says master or lord, I just want to like softly smack him upside the back of the head. Not too much force, like
It's the Gibbs
Kuro
slap.
knows
It's the
his
Gibbs
strength.
slap.
Yeah. Kuro knows his strength. He's like, I'm not trying to beat the boy. I'm just like, stop that.
Cool. He's still. It's only been a few days. He's still adjusting.
Okay. But how's he doing with the physical training? I mean, I'm talking, we're doing the military style. Morning, 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups, 2-mile run, we come back, 20 more push-ups, 20 more sit-ups. Then we're going off to do some weight training.
That
There's
kid's
water
dead
right there.
by
You're
9
swimming.
a.m. Just completely dead.
It's probably still better than the brothel.
Right.
He's gonna get buff. He's gonna. I'm making this kid a mini me. I can't wait for him. He's gonna be like, Dad, can I come join you on the battlefield and journey some honor? I've been waiting for this day all my life.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, you guys are on this at the end of the second day. You're kind of getting ready to set sail a short distance to the port of the city, to potentially get into one hell of a fight. What are you actually going to do with Akira?
I might have him stay on the ship.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have him, if the captain will allow it, hide underneath, like in the sleeping quarters. That way he's not on the top. He's nowhere near any cannons in case a ship fight breaks out. I'm just gonna tell him to stay put. Daddy will be right back. If anybody tries to take you, you shout my name. You let me know. And I will find you. That he promises. And I say it like that. Your father will find you. I promise. And those who take you will risk the day they never have.
Taking Samurai Edition.
I don't know who you are, but I will find you and I will kill you.
Then, it's about maybe an hour or so before the sun sets on the second day, when Yoritomo Dansu starts to get his crew into motion. They've been setting getting the ship ready pretty much all day. But like an hour or so before sunset is when all the crew are sort of suddenly bursting into action, getting the sails ready, making sure everything's ready to go, giving the ship a bit of a push into the water. As the tide is coming in, that sort of helps. And then sort of clambering back up onto the ship and towards I'll ping it on the map. You're pretty much going like across this little like river delta here, from this sort of coast to the city. It doesn't take too long, as you'd expect on a ship, and you can see Lady Moshi, Kimi, moving her hands and praying to the wind, the kami of air, to sort of help. And you can feel that extra push of wind in the sails as she does it. Probably come to the realization why Mantis ships like to have a Shigenja on board.
I'm totally blown away. I'm just like in awe, like, by the gods.
But you feel the ship very quickly pick up speed as it cuts across the water, and the sun is dropping lower on the horizon. Just a thin red slither across the water when you can see the nighttime lantern light of Murasabisi Toshi just up ahead. And within that sort of lantern light, you can see the dock and the sort of dark silhouettes of most of the ships and boats that are sort of in there, apart from one ship, which is lit by lanterns. And that is the strangely shaped ship belonging to Gaijin peoples. It has similarities. You expect all ships everywhere, regardless of the people, probably have similarities. It has masts and sails. Less blocky construction. It's actually quite an elegant looking vessel, even if it kills some of you to admit it, compared to the sort of more blocky vessels that the Rokugani people use. You can see that there's parts of the ship that look like they've been gilded in gold. The front of the ship has a human-looking figure sort of mounted to it, carved out of wood. And you can see that the lanterns adorning the ship are made of metal and glass, and not the sort of rice paper lanterns that you're used to within Rokogani society. And some of those lights actually have tinted glass, give off some unusual colours. Another prominent thing upon the ship that you can see is sort of mounted on the sort of main mast of the ship. You can see a gold object that is cross-shaped with a circle sort of going around. It's almost like a Celtic cross, uh, sort of tied to the mast of the ship. But your your captain sort of drops anchor practically right behind the Gaijin vessel, so that it can't actually leave the dock without having to crash into his own ship. And from the distance it's at, it shouldn't be able to get enough speed to actually do much other than maybe push his ship back a little bit. But as the ship's pulling in, you can hear calls of alarm from the dockside. And you can see the figures captured in the lantern light of the dock sort of moving quickly towards where the Gaijin ship is. And you can see that a few of those figures are armed with various peasant weapons, mostly. The Gaijin themselves, they also call out an alarm, seeing a ship sort of docked behind them. And you hear a voice sort of call out from the ship in a language that none of you understand, but that Yoritomo responds back in the same language. And it's quite a prolonged conversation. You can kind of gauge what the conversation might be about with a successful sincerity roll.
Get that.
Oh yeah.
Them good rolls.
Doing my 9. I'm
Okay.
trying to find it.
Who needs sincerity?
Exactly. I don't even know the word.
Okay.
Thank you, baby. Love you.
The two making the untrained rolls, it's kind of hard for you to gauge what the conversation is, right? There's a little bit of maybe aggression initially in the conversation, but it sort of dissipates after a bit. Kisho Kurokami, you get that initial impression of aggression in the exchange, particularly from the Gaijin side of the conversation. But Captain Yoritomo is sort of speaking the foreign language with a great deal of confidence in what he's saying, and you happen to notice that he's motioning to the four of you as he's talking to this Gaijin, and there's a word that sort of comes up every now and again that you suspect translates to Emerald Magistrate.
Okay.
And the tone sort of shifts to something a bit more what you'd expect from a diplomatic negotiation.
Okay.
What are you doing while this conversation is sort of going on?
And we are directly up against the ship by this point, correct? Like there's a gangplank down and we can walk
Uh,
over.
Not quite yet, but you are close
Okay.
enough that if this conversation, well, regardless of how this conversation goes, that's probably what is going to happen.
Okay.
Um,
I defer to Kisho.
you're deferring to
It's-
Keisha.
It seems pleasant now. I say we give it a moment.
I nod.
Kuro just
Does
looks.
does it look
bored.
like
he's ready for
to-
action?
Does anybody have their weapons ready on the other side?
On the Gaijin ship,
Yep.
not that you can see,
Okay.
but the crowd of people on the dock that's coming towards the ship
They do.
obviously have weapons, and
Yep.
they're seeming pretty agitated.
And they are they're Gaijins as well, correct?
You can't really tell.
Okay.
Judging by the weapons and stuff they're carrying, they're most likely Rokogani.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
they're on the dock, right?
Yep.
They're not Gaijin. Gaijin
Okay.
aren't allowed on the ground.
All right. So then, if they are the conversation, Kishu will actually probably go to meet them.
So you want to go towards the dock?
Yep.
Okay.
Or at least gesture to them and hold up the symbol and kind of gesture like pulse, like we've got this.
And you sort of calling out to the people in the dock.
Yep.
And holding up the Imperial seal.
Yep.
You see them sort of glancing amongst themselves as they see the Imperial seal, and the fact that you're on a ship. Like, they knew that there were some Emerald Magistrates in or around the city, from obviously the fact that you killed 5 of them your first day here, and
Yep.
everything that sort of played out from then. But you've also spread that rumor that there will be more Emerald Magistrate coming to the city.
Yep.
So the fact that you've arrived on ship, it makes them sort of second guess. Like,
Yeah.
they don't know if you're new Emerald Magistrate arriving or if you're the ones that were already there.
Yep.
And can everybody give me it's an investigation roll is what they use for perception and
Oof.
Hellfire.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
oh.
Untrained, and I got the 28.
Oh God!
Let's go.
Investigation.
Proud of you.
I got the 5.
That's on brand. That's on brand.
Okay. So for Kuro and Kurokami, it's a bit too dark to see from your eyes anyway to see what's kind of really happening down on the dock. But Kisho and Shiru, you're sort of obviously you're talking to this crowd of people coming towards the Gaijin ship. But looking around the dock, you can see that there are other samurai on the dock who, with the presence of Emerald Magistrate, are now also eyeing this crowd of ruffians up, hands sort of resting on the hilts of Daisho.
Yep.
Ready to aid the Emerald Magistrate if they should need it.
I wish I could see.
Isho is
Kuro's
gonna
just
step
like,
up.
"Oh."
If you do not have business on these docks, I will kindly ask that you leave and make room for those who do. And as he says this, he's gonna look to the samurai of the gathered and kind of nod to them.
Give me a. You're not doing it. You're saying it with authority, but not to intimidate. Although you've got decent intimidation, so yeah, why not? Give me an intimidation.
Yeah, no, I'll use that control, baby.
Yeah. Cool. the crowd of ruffians sort of glance around. They're now becoming very aware that they might be potentially dealing with more Emerald Magistrate. That the Gaijin that they were hoping to be doing business with no longer seem intent on that business, and that there are a number of other samurai on the dock who are now watching them with hands on weapons. And all of that combined with the tone that you sort of put into the sort of command makes them sort of disappear back into the alleyways and stuff like that around the docks and away from the situation. By the time you've sort of done that, and while Kisho is sort of calling out to the people on the dock, the conversation between your captain and presumably the captain of the Gaijin vessel has sort of died down. He sort of looks towards Yoritomo looks towards the four of you. The captain of this ship has agreed to let us board. And you're free to head out onto the docks and go to wherever you need to go to resolve this issue. I can spare some of my sailors to go with you if you need some extra samurai to back the throne's authority here in the city.
Ooh, Kuro is gonna step forward actually and say, "Oh yes, you can place them under my jurisdiction. As a lion, you are most known with mass battles. You can trust my word on this one. I will make sure that we have little to no casualties in the upcoming battle, if one is needed."
Out of the four of you, you're the one that he's probably had the least conversation with over the past few days. And he sort of glances towards Kisho.
Isho looks to Kuro and then looks back to Otomo and just nods.
Oh boy, I can't wait for mass battle. I have skills in that.
I'll send some men with you.
Thank you.
Uh,
Come, let us move out onto the docks.
They start to lower planks down onto the Gaijin ship. They actually have to go up the way. The Gaijin vessel's a little bit bigger than his. And he sort of leads the way up. And as he sort of, his boots sort of hit the ground, or hit the deck of the ship, a man sort of approaches wearing a strange triangular sort of shaped hat that has sort of gold trimmings on it, with long white hair that sort of comes down from it, but it's like a cloud that's kind of fluffy and puffy, with a long coat with again sleeves that sort of come out of it that are made of lace and kind of puffy and fluffy, and that seems to be a reoccurring theme with the clothing. There's a bit at the neck that's all sort of lace and puffed out, the sleeves, and you can see that he has what looks to be a sword on his belt, as well as a similar weapon to the one that Kaito had used in the tea house. But he says something presumably a greeting to Yoritomo when he comes on board. And then Yoritomo motions for the four of you to sort of come on behind him as you're station, the Zenlord Magistrate.
Keisha doesn't waste any time. He follows behind. What does the presence of the samurai on the deck look like still, or on the dock?
Yeah, there's still a few samurai on dock. They're kind of watching to see what happens here with the Gaijin ship. They're probably aware that it shouldn't be here.
Yep.
Do they have anything that we would equivocate with samurai of their own on deck?
The one thing that you all probably equivalent with being a samurai is having a sword, whether it's a wakizashi or a katana. And it's maybe a bit of a surprise to you that almost everybody on this ship has a sword. Theirs are a little different from yours. The captain of the ship is a thinner blade than a katana. Looking at the scabbard for it, the hilt has a metal almost wrapped around where the hand would go, and a handguard. Most of their swords have that sort of design, handguard design. Some of the sailors have broader blade swords on their belt.
Beneath my...
The broader blades, the Rokugan have an equivalent to those. Paranga, which is pretty much a machete, but again, Parangas don't have a handguard like they do a basket hilt. You might come to the same conclusion that the men on the ship with the thinner looking blades are maybe the equivalent of samurai, while those with the broader blades are maybe more akin to peasants. Especially since the thinner blades look a little bit more elegant and a bit more decorated in their design.
Beneath my breath, I say to Yubashiru, look at how clumsy the design of their weaponry is. People are sloppy. They will fight underhanded.
I like scoff as I look around at the same thing. And
Kuro is just gonna look at him and be like, "Oh, these look neat." It's just
Keisha,
walking on.
Keisha's gonna take special note of that lovely boomstick he saw. Looking around, does he see anybody else carrying them?
There are a few carrying them and bigger versions of them as well as
Okay.
some that are mounted to the railings of the ship that look huge. There is one individual on the ship who stands out, maybe more so than the captain does. There is a man who's sort of standing a few feet behind the captain, who isn't dressed like any of the other sailors, and he hasn't dressed in the sort of finery of the captain either. He is wearing something that you maybe consider similar to like a kimono. It is definitely a robe. And you can see that it has a hood on it. But it's like a simple, undyed grey robe tied at the waist with a rope. And you can see hanging from that rope is a small set of beads with a little silver version of the same cross that you can see mounted on the main mast of the ship. And you can see that his head is also shaved. He has the hair around the outside, but the middle part of the head is completely shaved in.
It was a high cross, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's also the only person on the ship that doesn't seem to be armed.
Okay. So when we fall behind, we've got Otomo, and then we've got this other dude right by him.
Yep.
Okay.
As soon as you're on the deck of the ship, though, that's when the rest of the Mantis sailors start to kind of come on board. Starting with Lady Moshi, but then followed by the rest of the crew. Yoritomo sort of turns to the four of you before you make it to dock. I need you just to nod and agree to the next thing that I tell him in his native language, if that would be okay.
Is he
In-
talking to us or just the
He's, ta- he's,
Keisho?
he's talking to the four of you, but probably mostly aimed at Keisha.
Yeah, I know.
What are you gonna
Kuro,
say?
Yes. What is it that you're going to tell him?
And the discussion we had before we got permission to dock the ship, I did tell him that his presence here was against imperial law, as it is, and that you four are officials of the imperial throne, and that part of that breaking of law means that we are entitled to search his hold.
DM question. GM question. It's a hard habit to break. Would they be liable for any contraband on their vessel if it's only on their vessel?
The Mantis would probably argue that the fact that they're docked here in this city means that they have intent to sell. It's like a cop's argument for if you get caught with.
Oh, we're the cops.
That you are they're here with intent to sell, and because of that, and they're breaking law here, then the Mantis are entitled to take anything that they see fit, in exchange for not arresting or killing the crew on the ship.
And that's the rub, right? Is that we're gonna find whatever it is they have on here, but we're not gonna do anything to.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. All right. Keisho? Kiba?
Before I nod, can I do a sincerity check? See if it feels like he's bullshitting us about what he just said.
Sure, yeah. Okay. Sincerity is he is going to say that to the Gaijin captain. But he probably is going to take some of the cargo off of him though, just to make a point. Not enough to cause any real issues.
Yeah.
You don't think?
Yeah, Keisho's not going to give a shit about that. Keisho nods.
seeing as all my companions nod, Kuro's just gonna give a slight nod, like, yeah, I don't know what's really going on, but yeah.
He turns around to the Gaijin captain, like says a few things to him in his native language, then refers to the four of you, where you nod, and then you see the Gaijin captain's face sort of twists up as if he's just ate a lemon or something like that.
Yeah.
But he nods in agreement. And then Yoritomo is like, well, thank you for your assistance, Emerald Magistrate. It's good luck in bringing justice to this city. He sort of motions to a handful of his crew and gestures for them to follow the four of you.
Follow me, lads. We're gonna make some people into real men tonight.
We're not supposed to kill these people.
Docks.
We're not. Okay. Okay.
Towards the dock.
I thought you were about to just go start butchering people on the ship, bro.
Apparently, meat is back on the menu, boys.
You thought I'm about to start killing the sailors? No, I said I'm headed towards the dock.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
It's a white meat's back in the menu. But, yep. Cool. Kuro's like right off that ship with these not gaijins, these mantis sailors following behind him. You reckon most of them are probably Yoritomo Bushi?
Yeah.
And that one or two of them, by the fact that they seem to be favouring bows over kama or other weaponry, are most likely Suruchi archers.
Okay,
Or
so I'm working with a bunch of archers right now. Okay, I can work with that. I can work
a
with
mix.
that.
Yoritomi samurai, they tend not to favour their katana in combat. They use a variety of other weapons. The kama being most frequently used because you can, on top of being a sickle and being a good cutting tool, it has that hook on it, which is good for, boarding ships and things like that as well. It's not a samurai weapon, and almost any other samurai wouldn't be caught dead using one. But it's not a point of contention for the mantis to be seen using peasant weapons, as is the case for
Okay,
some other clans. They all have
so
katanas, which symbolise that they are samurai, but they probably won't actually use them unless it's a last resort sort of deal.
got
And
you.
yeah,
So I'm
Suruchi
gonna turn
archers
to
are the
them.
best archers in Rokugan.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna turn to them, and I'm gonna have them. Basically, I'm gonna put them in a nice, even formation, and basically have the outer ranks be ready to drop their bows at a drop of a dime to whip out whatever melee weapons they want to make sure they protect the inner archers. If they're not good at, if they're not good at melee, I want them to at least be able to keep most of the outside attackers offside of the inside archers. I want the archers to do their jobs.
Somebody's been
I'm
playing
pretty
Total
sure they're
War.
going to pick off one or two people.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I
Suruchi,
basically want a nice outer turtle formation with like just inner archers.
yeah. Suruchi, as I said, they are the best, arguably the best archers in Rokugan. The Kakita also have an archery skill, and they would maybe argue otherwise.
I certainly
The
do.
Yoritomo, on the other hand, they're pretty good at fighting, particularly with two weapons, and in tight spots, and on moving in difficult terrain. The fighting won't be an issue for them. They're all hardened sailors that look like they've seen their fair share. And on top of that, the big guy that greeted the three of you when you initially arrived, who doesn't seem to be caring very much about a weapon at all, is also in amongst that group, and he looks like he could probably strangle like three people at once in one hand. But yeah, you've got like 6 mantis sailors coming along with you. And as you are sort of Kuro sort of leading them onto the docks, and the three of you are kind of following behind. Keisho, you notice that some of those other samurai who were on the dock, who are wearing the clan mons of Crane, Crab, and Mantis,
Yep.
also start to kind of follow along behind you. Like this is a samurai lynch mob that is forming at the moment to go
hell
after
yeah.
some Yakuza.
Oh hell yeah.
Um,
I'm about to take over this city. I'm about to establish law. Order.
and being Emerald Magistrates, you are judge, jury, and executioner.
So as we meet the ones on the dock and they approach, we need to make sure none of those ruffians come back. I need some of you set up. And if they do approach again, we need to be made aware. Is that understood?
They nod. They start to kind of take up positions at the bottom, the sort of head of the dock, and at some of the entrances into some of the alleyways. They're armed with an assortment of thing. Again, being all samurai, they have
Yeah.
katanas, but some of the crab samurai have other weapons like tetsubos and things like that ready to sort of smash faces in with.
And I need
Nice.
the word out. This ends. We will remove this scourge from the city, and it starts now.
Cool.
Hey, that's my line.
Just
Girl looks at you. Hey, wait a minute.
decide,
I'm
hey, that
supposed
was
to
my
get that.
catchphrase, dude.
Hey, look, Cora, look. Hey. No, that I'm supposed to say that. Don't beat the punch.
So mechanically
Jeez,
speaking,
you
how
let
much
your
weaker
arrow
is
fly
a,
looking for it.
how much weaker is a wakizashi than a katana is mechanically speaking?
For you, technically it's not actually that much weaker in your hand.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's great. What about for dueling purposes?
I mean, if you want, you can add
Slightly
my
less.
extra one.
Slightly less damage, but not.
You have an extra katana, that's true. That's your promise to your son. I'm good.
I didn't promise it to him.
Oh, thought you did.
That sword's a
I said I
free-for-all.
would give him his own.
The sword's
Yeah,
a free for all.
you want to come ask me? You want to come ask me? I'm smiling right now. I wish my wife would turn back on. I wish you could see my face. I'm smiling right now. I'll give you like a big smile. Curse this outage. Oh wait, I think the Wi-Fi's back good. Oh.
Can Lady Mies... can Lady Moshi see me from where I'm standing?
Yeah, she'll probably take a few glances at you as you're making your way onto the dock. She's going to stay, obviously, with her captain and crew.
No, because I have a disadvantage that says I'm headstrong, so I'm not allowed to do that. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that without spending a void point or whatever. I'm going to look at it. Contrary. Oh, it's for rolls. Okay. Well, I guess that... Sorry, I really don't mean to get hung up on this. No, I'm not going to ask you for the katana.
Damn.
Not in sight of the good lady.
No.
Damn. I was ready. I was so ready.
Yeah, I would expect such a thing from you. So no, I don't ask.
I was so ready. I was so ready. I'm glad you do, but still, I was so ready for just like a little bit of extra drama.
Hold it against you. Cool. Then let's presume that you're going to cut your way towards the Madame Kagoshi's tea house.
We're gonna do this the most. We're basically gonna demoralize the entire enemy. We're gonna march through, cutting down enemies. We're just gonna go straight for them.
Question.
Answer.
Her tea house, is it visible from the dock, from the shoreline? Is there a line of sight?
The tea house itself probably isn't, but because of the red lanterns that light up the district, you would have probably been able to see where that is. And nighttime is the liveliest time of the day for that district, so yeah, you'll be able to find your way there easy enough.
How far Yorotomo from me?
Yorotomo, he's on the dock. He's on the Gaijin ship. He's not followed you down onto the dock. And by this point, he's probably started to. Well, he's probably not personally searching the ship. He's probably having a polite conversation with the captain of the ship while the rest of his crew are below deck searching it.
Kisho looks to the group and kind of closes in. If we're going to do this, should we maybe get a little bit more aid from our dear captain?
What do you mean? I'm ready to march.
Oh, I know you're ready, but I think he could be persuaded to give a little bit more.
Well, go talk to him then. Do what you must do. I'm ready to march. Isn't that right, men? I turn and I raise my head up. Isn't that right, men?
They reply mostly out of politeness for your
Oh.
rank than any great deal of loyalty or enthusiasm.
Shiro, Kirakami, thoughts?
I think if we wait any longer, this might get hard to contain. We already have people set up and on our way.
The Mantis are pirates. They're going to take whatever they're going to take. The only difference is how much blood is shed along the way, correct? So if we're going to seize the city and then do whatever we need to do with the Gaijin ships, I say we let them deal with the Gaijin and we just focus on the city itself. But if we want to go and storm the boat, I'm good with that too.
Not necessarily storm the boat as much as offer him to get a better foothold in the city. What better way than being the conquering hero who helped remove such disgrace from such a beautiful city?
Kuro looks at you wide-eyed. Conquering hero.
I think you're gone, Kuro.
Gee whiz. I thought I was here. This is my story. This is another tale for the lions. What are you trying to do?
Isho is gonna make its way up and approach Ruotomo, and as he does so, he's gonna make sure he's gonna bow and gesture towards the other captain as he does so.
Kuro is watching you the entire time, just like, what are you doing?
Is there something stopping you from performing your duties to the Empire, Master Bayushi?
No, there isn't, but I had a question. I see the one there has that wonderful item that put quite a few holes in one of my companions' chest.
He sort of glances to the Gaijin pepper dispenser. What about them?
If we see any of our lovely guests making our way, I see the boat is also retrofitted with, looks like, much larger versions of that. What better way to really capture the hearts and minds of the people of this city than to help defend it if the time comes to do so? If you get what I'm trying to say. Who needs bloodshed when the Mantis clan is here defending the honor of the Empire?
You want me to ask the captain here to use his weapons against his former business partners? Is that what I'm hearing?
It is. For the sake of then possibly being able to dock here officially with, I don't know, a certain captain possibly making sure that happens.
Give me a temptation roll.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a difficult one.
I thought you said Death Cult one for a second, and I got real
I
excited.
was about to say, whoa! I was about to say, whoa! What
Ooh,
are
there we
those?
go.
Okay.
I like how Andy said, okay, like, yeah, nah.
He turns to the Gaijin captain. Starts to converse with him in the native language. You can see that Yoritomo is now has that same look on his face that the Gaijin captain had when he was clearly told that the like hold was going to be searched on his ship.
Yeah.
The sour face. The what is this? Lemon.
You hear him sort of he shouts on his men to come out of the hold. There's no need to search it. And the Gaijin captain sort of nods a little bit smugly and starts to give directions to his own sailors, who start to head over to some of those cannons above and below deck.
Oh shit!
God.
Can I kill the captain from here? Can I challenge him to a duel from here?
What?
Oh shit! What?
The Mantis captain.
No, he's on our side. The
Oh.
Gaijin captain.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Whoa!
Why?
Whoa!
Whoa!
He's not going to fight you in a duel. Gaijin have no honor.
Ah. He's pointing cannons at us, Kisho. What are you talking? Whoa.
Kisho just puts his hand up, gestures like, "Hold on."
Now, Lord Bayoshi, do we level the entire Red Lantern district?
You're about to kill innocent kids.
Yes.
I'll let you know. Kuro is looking at you. He's gonna realize you just killed a bunch of innocent kids.
Just be on standby. I will signal when needed.
All those innocent people are about to get fucking.
What will the signal look like? I need to inform our wide-eyed friend here.
I can't hear Chuck. Chuck, what are you saying? You're scaring me.
I think of the signal.
An arrow will come from the district with a lantern, the red attached to it. If you see that, lay waste.
He says as
I,
we are in Cannering Fire District. Oh, dude, Cannering Fire. Cannonball is gonna smack right in beside me. I'm gonna be like, "Oh, this is great! They're raining cannonballs on us. I'm gonna have to snap your neck later."
Did any of them come up with me, or is it just me up here?
What was Sheba about to say?
Yeah.
I was about to ask like how this all played out because I thought we were like gone and then like he went back by himself or something. I
So
don't
we
know. I
got
don't know.
stopped at the end of the
Yeah,
dock.
Kisho's gesturing like just.
Oh, okay. So we're all there.
Oh, so I don't
Yeah,
even know that
I was
this is
gonna say-
planning out. Okay, then never mind.
Yeah.
I take back
Yeah.
everything I said. I'm sorry. I thought that I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Hold on, I'm saying
I was
myself
just
out of
making sure
character.
we're at where
But
we're
Kuro
supposed
is
to be,
watching him. Kuro's just like, "What is you doing?"
I still have that bundle of Geishin coin, correct?
Yep.
I'm gonna make sure to turn so as my companions don't see, and I'm gonna hand it off to Otamo.
He takes the pouch from you, has a look inside. Covers some of the loss for not taking some of the cargo.
Well, hopefully, we shouldn't need to actively use them. It's more of a deterrent, but I stand by my word. When this is said and done, we'll make sure that there is a new power at the head of these docks. That should more than make up for what you lost.
I look forward to becoming governor of the city eventually. Now go
That's
deal
a
with
nice ring.
this problem for the future governor of Murasaki Toshi. And the Empire,
Kisho,
of course.
Kisho does just the most ostentatious bow to him before making his way towards the others.
You can feel Lady Moshi's eyes on you though the entire way down the gangplank and down the dock. Kisho, you get back to your companions who are like frothing at the mouth to go kill some Yakuza.
I very quickly fill them in why the guns are pointing there.
Okay. What?
Oh,
I
you
do
do fill us in?
I fill you guys in once I get there. I do not plan to actually have them level the city or the
Okay.
red light district,
Okay.
but if they rush the docks, I would like a very nice show of them being gunned down approaching the boat.
Murakami doesn't
Oh.
understand physics, so he
I am
says,
not-
great idea.
I am not looking to kill, maim, or destroy the district, just any of the lovely people who try to escape us from it.
Kuro is rubbing his temple. That's not a fight.
Kuro, you will have
that's-
plenty of people to fight. Don't worry.
No,
about
no, no. He's not. He's not saying that. He's rubbing his temple. He's like, that's not a fight. That's just man acting in the place of God, trying to rain down justice. And he's like rubbing at his temples, just like trying to figure out what his ancestors would do. He's like walking around, just like, and then he turns. Can't we just fight them with sword and bow like our ancestors?
Is this going to reflect on
Without-
our honor? We're not using the... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to get him again in between these two. I'm always between you guys.
it.
No, I'm not
and-
angry. I'm just like, can't we just use sword and bow and
I
not
know.
whatever those
We
weird
can.
machinations
Nobody,
are?
nobody is stopping you from doing so. This is just a little insurance. If it gets out of hand,
If it gets out of hand,
That the
we'll
work
just
will be
slaughter
done.
them all. What is need for those weird lightning
We-
weapons?
we need a plan. Do you know what happened last time? We didn't have one.
I would
Who's
listen to the
we?
Phoenix. He's got something to say.
Friends! Loudly. I turn to Kisho, put my hand on your shoulder, and I say, I don't know what possessed you to do that, but if a single innocent dies from their gunfire, I'm holding you accountable. Now we have a job to do. Let's get it done. And I turn around and start to walk towards the...
Hey, I'm supposed to be leading this.
He shows
Kuro's-
simply nods and he follows behind.
Kuro is just like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be leading this, and he just rushes forward.
I am
He
curious
points at
about how
Kisho
that's
as he
going to
walk by.
reflect
Just
on our
points at
honor.
him like, you.
It depends whether or not those cannons have to be fired or not.
God damn it, Kisho.
Hey, I gave him his warning, okay?
But no, if they're fired, then I just lost like 3 honor.
Kisho's got the sense. Send the symbol, and you get the sense that this is more, or at least the way this is more of a show of force. He does not want to send that symbol. Like, this is very much.
Yeah, that's why I gave him the warning.
Okay.
There's a big stick. We don't necessarily want to use the big stick, but the big stick is there.
All right, Teddy. Let's get after it.
If anything, I'm Teddy. I'm
Uh,
marching in.
You don't walk softly, dude.
You do not walk
Right,
softly.
I'm not walking softly. I'm walking loudly and boldly. I'm going ahead and drawing my katana. My
He's got
intentions are
He's
quite
got
clear.
his F-150. He's got the flag on the back of it. He's ready to go.
My
Oh,
intentions
boy.
are quite clear, Andy. My katana is already drawn. As I march down, just unsheathed, just like, yo, we're going to war. I'm happy. Oh yeah, the story's about to be told real good. Tell Ma and Pa.
Then let's call a break here.
Hey.
No, God,
Always
Andy, you and these cliffhangers.
the perfect timing.
All right. Don't go anywhere, anybody. We're going to take about a 5 or so-ish minute break. Enjoy the beautiful ad made for us by the illustrious Wolves Den here in chat, and we will be right on back. In a little.
Hot mic's okay.
Oh, we're so hot. Oh, you can turn on my camera, by the way. I sent you the link. Oh, I'm also going to go use the bathroom to grab a donut. Because now I'm preparing to fight. Oh, a little sugary of treats. Donut, got a donut. Yeah, yeah, got a donut. Got a donut. Yeah, yeah. Original Glazed donut. Ooh, it's tasty. Donut, donut, donut. Tasty. Donut.
Oh, donut sounds good. You have any donuts? Hold on, I'll be
I
back.
forgot we have hot mics. I keep forgetting we have hot
Oh,
mics.
my legs.
What's wrong with your legs? Wait, why is there a snow and Christmas tree on there? It's November. It's not Christmas. Oh, that was tasty. Oh, Jinko, like a Nissan Frontier. You said old man work truck. That's a Nissan Frontier.
No.
Oh, I'm about to win another game of basketball. I did last time.
All right, I'm back. I did that thing where I muted my own mic, you know,
Yeah, I'm muted.
so no one could hear me singing about donuts.
Oh man.
I heard somebody saying about donuts. Somebody was.
Someone was like, "Donut, oh yeah,"
That was me. Me, leave me alone.
and then he's like, "That was tasty,"
It
and
was.
I was like, I can relate.
The music is built up in intensity.
The donut was good.
What kind of
Hell
donut
yeah.
was it? What kind of donut was it?
Original glaze, Krispy Kreme. Is my camera not working?
I don't have it plugged in.
Oh, yeah, I had dropped it in the link chat.
Oh, I didn't know that you did that. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I had
found
added
it.
you.
I found the perfect spot for my Arnold Palmer can.
Where?
Oh,
Nice. There he is.
Hi. Hello.
hey!
Hello.
I am good looking.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
As you can see, my hair is not in a ponytail today.
so modest.
Look at me, I'm handsome.
Look, I am a solid 6. I take as much compliments as I can get.
Baby, you better up that number. Don't you tear yourself down like that.
You're at
I'm
least
not
8.5.
terrible.
Let's be real.
Nah, I am an
Ain't
honest
nobody
man.
in this group lower than an 8. Nobody.
I am an honest man. I am a 6.
Thank you for the follow, Marlo Bardling. Appreciate it.
I am an honest man. I am a 6. And as soon as I get a little bit more muscular, then maybe I'll call myself a 7.
Hey, what's up,
I gotta
Joel?
get that military buff back on.
Midlife Dice is in the chat. What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
Oh.
Ah, dang.
All right, I think we are ready to
I can't
go.
see the hoop because of our faces, so I can't get my angles right. I don't even know where the basketball is anymore.
Let's get a show on the road. Okay. So, the 4 of you are now departing the dock, leaving the guiding ship behind you with cannons aimed at the city in the order to look for a sign to open fire on the Red Lantern district or whatever might seem like a optimal target. And you start making your way through the city streets towards the Red Lantern district. For quickness and not having to deal with huge amounts of enemies and to almost do it in a more cinematic method, I'm going to ask each of you for 3 attack rolls, kind of knives, whatever you want to use. Not all of you are swordsmen after all. Bows. And then I'll narrate the journey between the docks and the tea house before we drop in back into like real time play. So, yeah, 3 attack rolls from each of you.
Do like one person at a time.
Yeah, you do all three at a time. That'd be great.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Jesus. Hope I don't use all my good rolls now.
Right.
Taking note of these.
Do I need to do damage as well?
Don't worry about damage.
Okay.
Just gonna assume that you're
Who
severely
wants to go
hurt
next?
and or killing whatever you're coming up against.
Oh, I'll go next if we had a. Since we're laying down the swattage, I'm always I'm just doing all of mine in full attack stance. That way I don't have to change none of my stuff. The letter you know that now. I do everything in full attack stance. Just hiya, have that be. $35.
Need 2 more.
Wait, they haven't loaded yet? I had clicked it. Oh, there they are.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, 44. Well, that was my one good roll.
Ooh,
That was my good roll.
your good roll. You'd have a roll under 30. Be quiet. Talking about a good roll. I can't throw a sword in the darkness. Like, let's see how this goes.
That would have been so cool if you threw it. I was able
Right.
to catch it, just go hiya. Oh man.
Ooh.
What?
56.
Let's go.
Jeez. All right, I guess it's just me left, huh? 21, 21, 44.
44.
Ooh.
Nice.
Look
I
at that
do want to
28.
point out.
Jeez.
I do want to point out that while all of this is going on, instead of Kuro's usual happy, ecstatic faces, it's more serious now. Because this is a full battle. He has people he wants to get back to. He has people who he wants other people to get back to. So, he's thinking of this as an actual military campaign instead of a
Yeah.
personal glory campaign. So this is your first time seeing Kuro fight seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
He's not yelling fuck around and find out to everybody.
Pretty much.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Let's narrate this. Okay. So the four of you, along with the 6 mantis that you're leading, and maybe 1 or 2 other random samurai who have decided to help clearing the city of dishonor, start to sort of cut your way through the alleyways and stuff, leading to Madame Kagashi's tea house. And these alleyways are tightly packed. Some parts are a little neater than others. But I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Old Boy.
I
Yep.
fucking love that movie.
The
Yeah.
scene in the hallway,
Okay.
like that, but with samurai, right?
Oh, hell
Gotcha.
yeah.
So you guys are making your way here. There are Yoshimura members, big and small, armed with a variety of different weapons, who are sort of coming out of these side alleys as you're sort of making your way through at random points with an assortment of weapons. The sort of first wave of them sort of comes out, and like Kurokami and Kisho have their bows ready. They're launching arrows into people, catching guys in the throat and the eye and whatnot. While Kuro and Shiro are just like cutting people down, keep protecting each other. Well, Shiro's probably the one protecting Kuro's back, while cutting people down, and Kuro's going like full rage mode. Grim determination on his face as he starts to build up that Matsu Berserker mentality. While the mantis that are with you are like unloading arrows, the big guy that's with you is like slamming people into the ground, beating the crap out of them with bare fists. You can hear bones breaking. And the other mantis, Bushy, are like cutting people down with dual wielding kamas and stuff like that. Again, on that second wave, as you're making your way further, you can just about see the red light up ahead from the Lantern District. Again, Kishu and Kurokami are like shooting people down with their bows as they sort of pop out, covering the backs of their 2 companions. Again, Shiro and Kuro are cutting people down with katanas. Shiru a bit more controlled, a bit more protective with his blows, while Kuro is just swinging wildly with the katana as that berserker fury sort of builds up more and more.
Each cut gets deeper and deeper, just like
Deeper,
1, 2.
cutting right through
Three.
bone. Eventually, just before you're about to reach the Red Lantern District, the light is sort of illuminating you. It's the only light at this point. So you're all in this sort of red haze as this final group of Yoshimura sort of spring out on you. By this point, Kisho, you're the only one using a bow apart from the mantises that are following you. And you're that final shot, like, say you kill like 3 or 4 Yoshimura with quick succession, accurate blows. Kurokami sort of shouldered the bow, drawn the Wakizashi. He's joined the fray with the other 2 Emerald Magistrate, cutting people down with the short blade. While again, I think everybody got really good on their final roll.
We must look like demons in this red light.
Yeah.
Demons. Yeah, dude.
Especially with my mask on.
Especially, since both
everybody rolled really well.
Both Kisho and Shiru both wear masks. You've got the light coming off and like sort of edge highlighting all those little details on your mask.
I just got blood on me, just like, yeah, more.
Like you sort of cut down this final wave, or the majority of it, making a clear path to Madame Kagashi's tea house, leaving the mantises that are with you to sort of deal with whatever's left over outside and to keep their eye on the door and things like that as you go in. As you sort of throw open those sort of rice paper doors to the building, like it's completely clear of all the geisha and I think there is a male term for the equivalent, but like the courtesans here are long gone. There's no sign of any of the children in this room. All you can see is the little figure of Madame Kagashi and a few armored and well-maintained looking Ronin. Might even be the same group of Ronin who came and collected you from the docks the first day, minus the guy that Kuro obviously killed in that.
Killed? You mean beheaded? Just.
But you're now in this room in what is a fairly even 1-on-1. Well, it's 4-on-4 fight with this group of Ronin, plus the Madame of the house, who being an old woman, you might suspect is not going to be much of a threat.
But she is the head of the house, right?
But she is the head.
And she is a samurai?
She's not, as far as you're aware, a samurai. But she's the head of the Yoshimura. I'm just going to quickly bring up the Enemies of the Empire book.
So since it's just 4-on-4 and we see him, Kuro is gonna yell out, "This is your final chance! Surrender! Or join the bodies of blood." I mean...
When the bodies of blood, bro. Yeah!
Join the bodies of blood. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. And join the bodies of blood. I'm gonna stick with it.
Fair enough. It's gonna be character progression when you say something cool later on.
I'm trying to say join the sea of blood, and it said, and I came out bodies of blood.
That's okay. So this was a Crane City, right?
This is technically a Crane City, yeah.
And we're handing it over to the Mantis?
You don't know that.
Fuck. Wow.
Yeah, I made that deal. You guys weren't informed of that.
So you left that part out of what you told us then.
Oh yeah, that part was 100% not told to you.
Okay. Well, Then I definitely think it would be within Kurokami's purview to basically carry out the justice himself, insofar as challenging her. She's of my family, so she's supposed to die from me. That's how I see
I
it.
guess she's not a samurai.
I want to challenge somebody to a duel so goddamn bad.
Ladies-
Fight me!
Okay, let's get it on. Let's kill these Ronin.
You got to do it my way with the whole slaughter, the cutting, the blocking, the slashing.
and the bodies of
In
blood.
the bodies of blood.
Later down the line, somebody in character is gonna ask Kuro what that means, and he's just gonna give a nice, good explanation. I'm gonna come up with one. Where it sounds pretty cool, like really grim and gruesome. But right now, don't ask him.
One can never have too many bodies of blood. Very true.
Somebody's gonna be like, Lord Akoto, what does bodies of blood mean? Well, you see, it's a very interesting thing, really.
So do we need to roll initiative, Andy?
Yep, if you could all roll initiative for me, that'd be
Right.
great.
Sure, no problem. Bodies of blood. Oh, that was wonderful. I'm gonna laugh about that later.
Ooh.
I'm still laughing
Fast
about it now.
Phoenix.
I gotta increase the
Oh.
initiative rolls with my
Can I beat
Experience
my
I spent.
companion? Oh, I have to select. Why do I keep forgetting to select myself? Can I beat my companions? Oh, 38. I
Ooh.
win.
Do.
wow. Look at that
Damn.
29. What the hell?
Exploding dice, bro.
Yeah.
So what have we got here? We have
I got 2 1s too. That exploding dice is strong.
30, 32, 31, 27. Okay. Let me put in the 4 room.
Wait, how Chuck got a 32? How is how you fourth Chuck with a 32?
I was expecting like a 7.
No, I'm looking at the turn order. It says
they're not in
38,
order yet.
31,
They're not in order
47,
yet, yeah.
32.
Just
Oh,
plugging it all
oh,
in. Yeah.
I thought it was already in order. That's why I was laughing. I was like, wait, is it because
Sorry, I
Chuck
didn't mean to
doesn't
talk over
know
you.
how?
Will, my bad.
No,
No,
no.
he's fine. This is funny. We're having fun now, guys.
Yeah.
I just saw that 2 of my dice exploded, but they rolled a 1 and a 2 on their next roll. So that's good.
Ooh.
Unfortunate. I got a 31. Could have been so much higher.
I hope my dice explodes for the rest of this right now.
Hey Derek, you excited for me to use a divine intervention?
Ooh, when are you gonna use it?
Probably for Covet Syndicate.
Ooh, nice.
I have 2,000 more points I need to get back up before I can use my divine intervention.
Did you see that the price has changed?
Yes.
Okay.
I seen that.
Wait, what? Wait, I saw the prices for everything else change, but not divine intervention.
25k.
25k. Not for
No!
L5R yet, because nobody's popped it for L5R yet. But none of us can use it for L5R, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was the same for the other ones.
No, dude. We had somebody claim the first divine intervention this week during session prep, actually.
Ooh.
No.
Okay. Let's start. Kuro, you're first. Keep in mind that there is a quick handout for combat actions, and activating a kata is a simple action. So I know a few of you have kata now. But
Mine's
yeah,
passive, so
you still need to activate them. The the kata aren't passive. You need to activate them first, and then they come into effect. Oh wait, yours adds.
mine's is initiative. Yeah.
Oh no, kata is the first word of katana. Oh no, if I put a space, it doesn't change it. Wait,
So element style.
wait.
Yeah. So you use your void ring instead of your reflexes.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So you start doing the kata at the start of the fight, essentially, when you're rolling initiative. Nope. So you center yourself at the start, using the void to get ready to react. But yeah, Kuro, you're up first.
Uh,
Eddie.
oh.
Oh, I think we
see,
might have lost Eddie.
see this kid is up. That's
Didn't
what
know.
happened. I'm gonna
Oh yeah. We just lost him.
assume that he's holding his action. Down to the bottom. Okay, Kisho,
Yes.
start with you.
All right.
What stance are you in to start off with?
I am going to be
Hello.
dumb, and I'm going to take the center stance.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, he's
Hello.
Hi.
back.
Yeah, just let him go.
Sorry, the outage came back, so I switched back over to hotspot.
Okay, so center
I mean,
stance. I've just assumed that you were going to hold your action until you got back online, so it's cool. We'll do Chuck's turn and then we'll go back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. So you are entering a center stance. You're
Yep.
centering yourself in preparation for the fight that's about to happen. You can take no action while you're in center stance.
Yep.
Instead, you focus your energy on preparations for acting and following round. So on the round following this one, you gain a bonus one keep one on your void ring. Plus your void ring to any roll made during that turn. And you also add 10 to your initiative score for the following round. Cool. So yeah, you're centering yourself, you're preparing yourself to strike and presumably strike hard. I'll temporarily bump your initiative up to 42, I think.
Damn.
And jump back to Kuro.
I'm sorry
so-
about that.
Yeah, no problem. What stance are you taking? Like any.
Before I take a stance, can I ask where the other four are in relation to us four?
So you sort of came in through the door.
Mhm.
They're standing in a sort of semicircle, slightly in front of Lady Kagami. Who
Okay.
hasn't said anything when you came through the door. The samurai the Ronin were already waiting for you.
All right. So I'm gonna go into attack stance. I'm gonna activate my kata, and I'm gonna move over to the left, just room for one of them to come over here. Come on, buddy. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. And then with the rest of that, I'm gonna hold my action. So I want to get away from the group and be like by myself. And basically, while walking over, I'm just, hey, come on, one of you come talk to me. Go talk to me.
So what does your kata do for people that are watching?
My kata is the striking a fire kata. When in full attack stance, you may add your fire ring to the total of one attack roll made per round. It won't
Yeah.
be used right now because I'm just holding my attack. I'm not seeking out the fight this time. Let them come to me. So when I do switch over and I raise my hand up, I'm striking with some fire.
So yeah, you're like making these movements with your katana that are quite fierce and aggressive as you perform the kata and challenge the Ronin in the room to come at you. Cool. Cool. Okay, so Ronin number 4 is going to answer that challenge.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, come on,
Uh,
buddy. Me and you.
He's going to come at you. These Ronin are not ones to be fucked around with either. So
For once, I get the benefit from my full armor at the start.
let's see what we got here. Got 9, 8, 9, 4, 17, 21.
I got 25 for my armor.
Cool. So yeah, he comes at you in a regular attack stance and sort of swipes his katana at you, but you're able to sort of bring your own up and parry that blow before he can land the blow on you.
Oh yeah, me and you about to have some serious conversations, buddy.
Shiro, you're up. I'm assuming everybody has their weapons pretty much
Yeah.
ready at this point, since you were cutting your way through these guys on the way here.
Are they close enough to get to you?
Yeah, you could move and get to them. What stance are you
with
gonna be taking it? In that?
if I can move and get to them with the free action move, then attack.
Yeah, it's a tea house, so it's not a particularly huge. This room isn't. It's big enough to fit a few people in it, as you've been here before, but it's. And they're not at the back wall from you, so like, they're kind of standing in the middle of the room already. So yeah, you can easily get to them with your free action.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to do that and then attack. I just want to make sure I have. Oh yeah, okay, this one. Perfect. 24.
4 is a hit.
What should my damage roll be? I just want to make sure it's correct, actually.
Let me check your sheet for you. Damage. Yep, you've got the right damage in there for your katana.
Okay, just want to make sure. 29.
Cool.
Nice.
It's a serious
There we
play. I am going to spend a void point, I think.
Oh, they have void points, boys.
Let's go.
So you're not going for the same samurai that or Ronin that's attacking Kuro, are you? You're picking a different target. So
Oh yeah, different one.
Ronin 1, 2, or 3.
I'll go 3.
So yeah, he's going to spend a void point and knock that damage down to 19. It's still quite a bad blow though. Sort of move towards him quickly, like sort of swipe with your katana. You feel it cut through some of the armor and into flesh and bone. Maybe not quite as deep as you initially thought. Cool. Kurokami.
I am holding my wakizashi. I like clasp it, breathe in deep, activate my kata, breath of the wind style. My initiative score increases by 2 during the reaction stage of each combat round. This effect stacks but disappears immediately if I am no. I am going to say that I don't think I said what I went into. I wanted to go into air style. Air's what's it, stance?
Stance. Yeah.
So I believe I can still make an attack. The other one?
Air stance is the defense, isn't it?
I thought that you could still make an attack in air.
Yeah, you can still make. Yeah, it's only full defense you can, or center stance.
Okay, so
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to. Ow. Oh no. 17.
No. Uh,
And then shit.
okay. Actually, that's a good point. An attack isn't a free. Isn't a simple action. So you wouldn't.
I
be
thought
able
it
to
was a
attack
free action. Oh.
To
Small.
draw, your weapon was already drawn, but you performed a kata, which is a simple action.
Oh, so I could not then go forward and make an attack.
You could move towards them.
Okay then.
But yeah, you can attack.
Then it's a good thing we didn't go into damage.
Mhm.
But your wolf can definitely.
No, he's going to stay next to you. And, well, he's going to begin circling around, at a distance, actually.
Cool.
Like a wolf would do.
So your wolf can perform the guard maneuver if you wanted to.
I'm setting him up to attack from behind next round.
Okay. Okay, Ronin number 3 is gonna try and hit Shiru back. That blow. Could it be increasing the target number by quite a bit though? It's 10, 18, 24, 34, 43. So what's your defense value?
20. 20.
And he's adding 10 to that for being winded. He's still able to hit you.
God damn.
Yeah, I heard 43 on the roll.
Yep.
So
43 hits? I call bullshit. Damn hacks.
18 damage.
ow. Void point.
Minus
Why do you
Nine-
take so much damage? Who
19
hurt you?
minus 3 for your armor as well.
Okay, I'm still taking the void point for the make it 5.
5 damage. Cool. Yeah, so he strikes you back. Initially, to him, it feels like he's hit you for a decent strike, but the damage that he's left isn't as substantial. Ronin number 1 is going to strike Kurokami. 11, 15. No, that's a miss.
I don't know what I get for being in wind stance because I've never taken it before, but my normal one is 25.
You add your defense. You add your air ring plus your defense skill to your armor theme.
Oh, well, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so he doesn't come anywhere near landing a blow on you as you're able to kind of maneuver very quickly away from the clumsy sword strike. And Ronin number 2 is going to close in on Kisho.
Rude.
Try and cut you down with the katana.
Could do. I'm a little boy.
You're gonna pick on me, a small man, a jokester, a prankster?
22.
Oh God, that just fucking hits.
Oh no.
How much damage?
12.
In that point, homie, you don't want to spend time in
Yeah.
recovery.
I'm gonna spend that point.
Yeah.
Bump down 1.
Now it's like you're not even wounded, dude.
I got another cut again. Oh, oh my
A
god.
paper cut.
Right.
So Lady Kagashi kind of stands where she is, her hands folded into the sleeves of her kimono. I was wondering how long it would take the Emerald Magistrate to come and deal with the business that I had here. I got a good few years out of this business. I believe it's time for me to retire. And she starts kind of turning. She slides open the door into the garden part of the brothel and starts to kind of just walk through the garden away from the fighting.
Oh, I gotta make this quick then. Say no more.
So Kurokami, during the thing stage,
My administration.
yeah, actually- yeah, it goes up by 2. So
I am
bump,
going to be entering water stand, by the way.
jump up to 29. And Kisho, because you're in center stance last turn, you have to switch stance this turn to something else, but your initiative has been bumped by 10, and you get keep 1 plus your Void rank on whatever your next action is. So what stance are you switching into? Chuck?
Chuck?
He's thinking.
I'm looking yeah,
Oh.
I can see his mouth moving like he's reading, so.
reading.
Deep concentration.
We are going to go to attack stance.
You switch from your calm and centered stance to one more aggressive. Okay, so what are you doing? There is a samurai right in front of you.
Right in front of me, and I can see the lady walking her way.
Yep.
Hisho looks to Kurakami quick. Kind of looks at the old lady, hit his bow in hand.
You can't say anything on somebody else's turn, right?
No.
Okay.
He raises the bow
He's
to put an
gonna
arrow in the back of her head.
He's gonna sniper.
I'm doing a called shot, and I'm going to spend another void point to give myself another 1k1 on top of it.
Soul.
Okay, so that's 2 keep 2 plus your void rating to this attack roll.
Is there a way I can add that in the roll, or do I have to do that after?
Let me check the sheet for you. There
Okay.
is most definitely a way. So weapons. Oh, not added the bolt. Oh no, yeah, I added that. The hand keel.
Hey, Ricky Bobby Jr. Add 1Q1 to roll. Thank you, Ricky Bobby
Okay,
Jr.
Ricky.
You're using a level leaf arrow, which is your standard arrow. And you can, where it says bow roll bonus, bow keep bonus, you're adding 3 keep free.
Yeah. Hell
So
yeah.
I add that on there for 3.
Yep.
Ricky Bobby say, yeah, beam that old lady in the back of the head.
Your
My child promoting aggression.
your foy, you're adding 2 from your void
Okay.
rating. I've added it on for you, so all you need to do
Okay. So I just roll my trained roll now.
Yep.
Don't fuck me. Don't fuck me.
Oh!
Whoa!
Let's fucking go, boys.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oof. So that was a cold shot to the head. Yep. All we really needed to do for that was 2 raises for the headshot.
3 raises.
3 raises for the headshot. Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
you're
I don't know if an 86 gets you there, but
definitely getting there with the 86.
Wow.
Yo,
that's the new
Oh,
highest
man.
roll.
It is.
Roll your damage.
Dang it. If this
Not that it
lady
matters.
survives,
It's gonna kill her, but I just want to see how much damage.
Do I just roll a weapon again, or do I remember the Kyujitsu roll?
There's a little
it's all the way to the right of the weapon.
yeah, there's a little D20 further to the right.
Oh,
for
I
them.
see it. There we go.
Doesn't matter. It's a headshot. Yeah, you ignoring the Ronin in front of you trying to murder you. You let out that calmness from the void in the center stands, and clearly the Kami are also looking after you. And that arrow whistles as it leaves the bow and plunks deep into the back of her neck, severing the spinal cord and punching through out the front of her throat. She lets out a little bit of a gasp. The Ronin in the room probably glance round to see that the person paying them is dead, so this fight is probably no longer worth the risk to any of the 4 of them. But
Oh, please do not run.
some
You got
people,
the
get to
wrong
act,
one to run from.
some people get to act before any of these Ronin get to run. Kuro,
I'm going to take a raise in my next roll so I can do extra damage. Can I spend 2 void points to increase that as well? I want to spend both of mine. I want to cut this man down in 1.
you can only spend 1 void point per turn.
Yeah, so I'm just going to spend 1 and I'm going to do a raise. I just want to cut him down in 1 good hit. One clean shot. Just
So you're in full attack stance as well?
yeah, I'm switching over to full attack stance.
Cool. So let me check your sheet for a second. So if you jump to your weapon page for me,
Mhm.
ready. Anna, you are adding your fire rating is a flat bonus into your attack roll. So
Okay, so that's 3. So that makes it 5.
no,
already have-
that part. The flat bonus is the third box.
Oh, okay, got you. So
Yeah.
flat bonus is the 3.
Yep, +3. So yeah, give me your attack roll first. You're in full attack stance. Yep.
So here's my train. If anybody want to spend a point and help a brother out, just saying. I'm trying to kill this man in 1 shot like I did again. 42.
Hey,
Yes, that's gonna hit. Even with the raise for extra damage. Cool, yeah. You're like in a fury. Like the old woman's dead, you can see the panic in the Ronin's face. You don't want him to leave this room alive. And like yeah, you take a swipe at him, you definitely hit. So your damage. You're adding 1 keep 1 from the void point that you're spending. The katana is the only weapon that you can spend void to increase the damage roll.
Mhm.
Uh,
So it'll be keep 3 since I already have a keep 2 in it from full attack
Yeah.
stance.
so it'll go up to 5 keep 3. And then it'll go up to 6 keep 3 from the raise that you made for extra damage.
damn.
Oh,
Because the raise on the attack roll is 1 keep 0.
Jesus.
gotcha.
That that glance back at the old lady being shot down and that momentary look of panic is all the opening that you needed. to just remove this man's head from his body without giving him the option to be a coward and flee.
I'm just letting the blood fly over me, just like, oh man, another one.
So
I
yeah,
say that loudly. Oh man, another one.
one shot and everybody. Shiro,
All right, so do something a little bit out of character because Shiro's been having these nightmares, probably of his village getting destroyed, and he doesn't want those cannons to go off. So he definitely doesn't want this guy to get away because he doesn't want the chance for that to happen. So he's gonna switch to full attack stance and try to.
Oh,
Okay.
this motherfucker there.
So I do 2 keep 1 on the attack, right?
Yep.
And yeah, so let's roll it. 29.
Yep. Yeah, you've hit.
And then this damage. Does the damage change at all?
No, the damage hasn't changed.
Okay, yeah. No, okay, I just read it. Yeah. 26.
6. You've already hit this guy, so that's enough to finish him off. Again, similar to Kuro, the look of panic on his face, or more disappointment that he's probably not going to get paid for this, is enough of a distraction for you to just very quickly finish him off. A few quick strokes of the blade ends his life in a puddle of blood. Kurokami.
I'm going to empty. Do I believe?
Mhm.
So I just go spend a void point. But I just a 1 key for the gray bonus.
Yep.
21.
With the razors and stuff you need, it's not enough. You try and go for his legs to knock him down. But he very quickly sort of leaps away from you, avoiding the knockdown, avoiding the blow entirely.
And then she 41.
Oh, yeah, that's a hit.
29 damage.
Cool.
Nice.
Um,
Taco got some bite.
Yep, the doggo. Not quite enough to kill him, but he is probably screaming in pain as the wolf starts to sort of maul him. It's got 9 wounds left.
So if I wanted to do an extra attack, I can do it with 5 raises, right?
Yep.
Fuck it.
Cool. Okay.
Here's
There's
another
5
bucket.
raises. You need 45.
I get an 18.
You take 1 clumsy swing at him again as your wolf is mauling into him, and even then you still can't seem to hit him.
I am way better at single fighting.
He's going to try and attack the wolf, I think. Nah. It's 25. Actually, yeah, he's like adding plus 20 to it though from wound penalties. So yeah. No. He's like screaming and flailing, trying to cut Kurokami off, Shinigami off of him. But he's in so much pain and losing so much blood, they can't really put the strength for the accuracy behind the blows. The Ronin in front of Bayoshi sort of just nudges past the courtier and out of the door and out of the brothel, using all of his actions just to floor it. Running
How
out.
far away is he? I think I can catch him because of my school.
Um, he's you didn't move in to engage, but he's using all of his movement to run. Um,
If it's past 50 feet, I'm gonna just let him get away.
it is a amount you go to. Let me check the actions actually. Work out exactly so you know whether or not you want to chase this guy then. So he has he's water ring times stuff. Water ring is free. So the free action allows him to move 15 feet. And then he's using both simple actions to run 30, 60, 75 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
He's
I
gone.
don't want to. That man's fearing for his life. There's
Alright.
no point in chasing that down.
It's likely one of the mantises outside will probably catch him on the way out.
With the bow, he's just gonna get arrows to the back or to the face. It doesn't matter.
Cool. Then the four of you are left standing in the middle of this empty brothel slash tea house with three dead Ronin. We'll say the wolf finishes mauling the one that's still alive. So three dead Ronin and a dead old lady lying in the middle of the Zen garden in the middle of the tea house with an arrow in the back of her neck.
Kuro is going to sheathe his sword because unless anybody else wants some, because he just decapitated another man. Dear Lord, like he's not even happy. He's just like rubbing his temple in frustration, like Jesus, another one. Sheathing his sword, just like I really got to start holding back. That Matsu
You
Berserker
sure?
rage came in a little bit too much.
Kisho was gonna stow his bow, and he's not even breaking. Like, his gaze is still upon her body. He stows his bow, pulls out his tanto, and just starts walking towards her body.
Kuro is going to start looking around the tea house for the kids now, because he got
He said they're
Akira
gone.
from her.
He said that all the
Oh,
kids
they're
and
gone?
everybody's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they might
good.
be upstairs. Remember, the building does have multiple floors.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check the building out.
Yeah, cool. You start heading towards the stairs then, while Kisho menacingly makes his way towards the old lady's body with his tanto in hand. I assume you've got nothing good intended for that corpse.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
I asked
what about
Shibo, what he's kind of going through. Like, that was completely out of character for him to just see him go berserk for a minute.
Yeah, so even after he like cut this guy down, he probably stood over him for a few extra seconds, looked around, noticed that the battle was pretty much over, and took his mask off, and just in general is moving a little bit slower than normal, most likely, and has that kind of faraway look in his eyes. And when you come up to talk to him, he just looks at you and he says, "I couldn't allow the cannons to go off, or whatever they're called."
I say,
Thunder.
is everything okay? Strange. Been traveling together for a while.
So yes, it likely won't happen again. I
Right.
appreciate your concern, and I like Bao.
I
can't wait for me and Shiba to have our one-on-one. Be like, yes, it's tapped into a little bit of my side. I like that.
I say it's not a bad thing. You have no need to apologize. Sometimes that's what it takes. If everything's okay with you, then let's finish up what we have to do.
Let's.
Samurai Champloo stuff going on in the background. Cool. Okay, Kisho, what are you going to do with this poor old lady's body?
So, as I approached the garden, there was a door there, correct?
Yeah.
So, looking around the garden, is there any vantage point? Is there anybody looking down upon this area? Or anybody can see?
Oh, okay. Give me Investigation roll.
Okay.
You can't see anyone apart from your two companions who are still sort of standing in the middle of the room, and you can just about make out Kuro heading towards the stairs, but there doesn't seem to be anybody else watching you.
Isho looks at the two so that just says, I'm going to close the door. I don't want you to see this. He walks through, closes the door behind him. He's gonna go to her body. He's gonna pull out, looks like a cloth bag from within his kimono and set it aside. And then he's gonna kneel down next to her. The arrow went straight through, didn't it? Or is it still embedded
Yep.
in there?
It didn't go cleanly through, it's kind of sticking out her throat.
Okay. He is going to reach down, grab a nice tuft of her hair, and then just begin the process of sawing her head off.
Which is generally a thing that actually samurai did actually do.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, being an old lady, like the skin's quite thin, the muscle tissue isn't as tight and as tense as you'd imagine. So it's probably a little bit easier to saw her head off than it would be, say, like a samurai who'd be in his prime.
Yep.
But you're probably still there for a good bit of time.
And then, yeah, after he's done, he's gonna carefully place her head in the bag, and then he's gonna check her body.
Okay. You give me another investigation roll then. Cool. You have a search through her person. You find a coin purse with an arrangement of a mixture of Gaijin coinage and Rokugani coinage, so Koku, Bu, and Seni, as well as different denominations of Gaijin coin.
Okay.
To your surprise, as you're sort of searching the body, and it's very faint, like faded through time, but you can see a marking on this old lady's wrist that suggests that one point or another she was a agent of the Scorpion Clan.
It's very faded, and it wasn't something you could see. It was hidden.
Yeah, it was hidden. Yeah.
Is that the only spot on her that has that?
Yeah. She has other
Oh.
tattoos.
It's always on her body.
Yep, yeah, it's a tattoo on her, just slightly above her, like below her wrist.
He is going to carve that off as well.
But she also has other tattoos, like full on Yakuza style.
But that's the only one that has the Scorpion Clan,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yep. He's gonna carve that off of her.
Can't leave that as evidence. Cool.
Then, after all that's said and done, he will make his way back. And then whatever they've done in the meantime, when they're done with that, he will present that lovely bag to Kurokami.
Cool. Kurokami's away to the bathroom, wherever that might be in the house. Kuro, you head upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get an investigation roll from you?
Oh, you surely can. I want to find these kids. I'm in dad mode now.
He's had his
I'm in
kill. He's
dad
in dad mode.
I'm like Gordon Ramsay, like, oh, you poor thing, come here. I don't see nothing.
There's not a single light on upstairs. You can't hear a single thing as you make your way through. the sort of halls. Even when you check into some of the rooms, you can't see or hear anything.
I'm blind. I'm that blind? Oh Lord. Yeah, so I'm just walking loudly. I'm just stomping around, just like, any kids up here? This is Lord Akoto. I adopted one of your friends, young Akira. It is safe to come with me. I'm shouting that out as I walk.
Give me a sincerity roll.
Oh no, I'm scary. I'm scary. I'm so scary.
Not a single noise, not a single response.
I have food, shelter. I can offer you a new life. Can I try?
Temptation roll, temptation.
Oh wait. Are there any? If they're young kids, I am beautiful. I know this is conceited. I have dangerous beauty.
Great heroes can be found even
no,
here,
No,
in the
God,
mud and
baby.
rain.
I'm like that one dad that is like everybody's super scared of, but it's really cool.
Thank you so much for the sub, Taupe. Love you, dude.
Thank
Is everybody
you.
trying to help me? You said a temptation roll.
Yep, temptation roll. Luckily, no one can see or hear you trying to bribe children with food. No honor left.
Wow. 2 ones. Oh,
They've been told.
oh, bye.
That's how bad men get you.
All right, so I'm just gonna continue searching everything. I'm checking every nook and cranny. I'm tired of talking. Actually, can I look up? Can I like tap the top? Like, is it within arm's reach?
You could probably use your sword and its sheath to kind of poke.
Yeah, I'm poking at the top. Is there like any floorboards? Like, is it solid? Because from the outside, you said this was 2-story.
Yeah. Give me another investigation roll.
Oh, I just wanted a pure strength tap.
Could be an athletics roll, but you could probably punch through the wood anyway.
Knowing you're right, really don't want to scare no kids. Like, here's a Kodo.
They just see a sword bursting through the floor.
Oh, 18. That's better than
Yeah,
Give me an
18 is
attack
better.
roll. Attack roll against a child.
You sort of push up one of the wooden panels on the roof, and it sort of comes away, leaving an opening where you
Oh,
can just see a little pale face looking down at you from up there.
there you guys are. Come down here. Come on. It's safe now. All the bad men and women are gone.
You see a pair of hands lowering the child down.
One
then-
kid, next kid.
Another follows, then two
Yeah,
more,
I'm staying up here till all the women and kids are down.
and then some of the courtesans start to follow the kids down, kind of holding them close to them.
Don't worry, you're safe. I'm like smiling at the women and everything. Letting them know I'm friendly. Like, I'm not giving that, yeah, I have plans for you later. I'm giving like, no, this is a genuine, hey, I'm here to help you. Hero of the people. I'm sexy. I'm here.
Why
I'm
do
the
kids
nicest
care if
kind
you're
of designer.
sexy? What the fuck?
No, I'm talking about the courtesans just holding the women close.
Oh my
I'm talking to
god.
the courtesans.
Mad
Like,
ruffle
yeah.
now.
No, I'm not here like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm a samurai, a good one. I'm here to help. I'm the knight in shiny armor. I'm the prince in your story. Blah blah blah. This is probably where I get my secret lover for my for my disadvantage.
You get them all down,
All right.
and as they're all kind of spread out, they're all kind of muttering to one another, a little unsure of what to do.
I give a loud clap. All right, women, children. Right now, I know you have a lot of concern. I just need you to be quiet, stay together, and follow me. Let's get you somewhere safe while this whole shenanigan, this purge is going on. Follow me, and I'm going back downstairs. That's it. I came up here for one thing. Go
Yeah.
back down.
I should note that while yous are like in here and Kisho's cutting parts off an old lady and Kuro's looking for something, Shiro and Kurokami, you can hear that there is still fighting going on outside, but it's starting to die down. Until eventually one of the mantis, the big massive guy, sort of comes swaggering into the tea house. My lords, I think we've dealt with the last of the scum outside. You see him kind of wiping blood off of his hands and his knuckles.
First of all, thank you, Quiz Bowler, for the follow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Taupe, thank you again for the sub. Love you, buddy.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Taupe.
But yeah, this guy is he's swaggering, he's got a bit of a sway going on as if he's maybe been drinking, but it's just his fighting style.
Where are the stragglers?
The archers, I think, are shooting them down as they run down alleyways and streets.
Then it sounds like our work here is done, Hiro.
Oh, the one that ran out of here a few minutes ago. You see him kind of looking at his knuckles.
Ah,
Good. I'd go to like leave this place.
yeah, I don't want to be in here either.
Just like
Yeah.
blank expression on my face, and I'm just gonna leave. And I basically just want to walk past everyone and go back to like where the boats are.
Yeah, you're leaving. Kisho's came out by this point holding a bag that's got blood soaking at the bottom of it. Kuro comes downstairs with about 20 women and children behind him.
I'm here walking like, yeah, so I cut that guy down. Easy work. But Akira, he's fine. Akira loves it. We work out every morning. Like, I'm here having regular conversation with the whole group. Just like, yeah, he's fine. We go work out every morning. I taught him how to fish.
As you mention Akira, though, one of the women, it's kind of hard to ignore her eyes start to kind of water up. And she grabs you by the hand, which is something that peasants and Hymen, which are the non-people, which courtesans and things like that count as should never ever touch a samurai, grabs your hand and drops to her knees. Akira? Where is he?
I'm like shocked, just like, what is your relationship with my boy? I'm saying that very clearly, my boy.
Your boy, my lord.
Yes, I plan on raising him.
Akira's my son.
Just kidnapping kids.
I see you are the mother. So I will allow you this transgression of you grabbing my hand, but I will now ask you to remove it. Understand?
She lets go and shakily gets to her feet, tears still streaming down her face.
You are the boy's mother?
She nods. I am.
Let me ask you this. Will you rather your son... No, that is a cruel thing to say. Let me offer you the chance to allow your son to make something for him, like for himself, to have a higher station in life than he would be initially offered. Allow me to take your son from you to raise and train.
Okay.
How this lady looking? Is she fine?
Like, Koro is gonna give a bow because he understands what he's asking is a lot. He's gonna give her a bow of respect because he's basically saying, "Hey, let me take your son."
She's crying, being courtestans, and they're essentially geisha. Her makeup and stuff is all kind of ruined. You can tell looking at her, she's maybe one of the older courtesans here, but she's still an attractive woman. Even through all the tears. But I'm going to need a roll. Asking her to... It's different when you bought her off the old lady and she didn't really have a
choice.
But... give me a...
Temptation roll?
Yeah, give me a temptation roll.
Yes, I have a one keep one of that when it comes to women. Yes. Yes.
For whatever reason, she's more inclined to let her son travel with a handsome samurai.
Oh God!
Oh my
No!
god.
How bad was it?
Oh,
I'm looking over it. I'm calling Keisha over. Keisha, buddy. Come
We
here.
have-
Oh, at this
We
point,
have-
am I in the room?
yeah, we have something though. The honor roll, optional roll, where you can choose to roll an amount of dice and keep an amount of dice equal to your honor rating. If you fail the roll, however, then you lose a point of honor.
I mean, don't you have like 90 on it right now or some shit?
I have 6.
Who was it that gained a whole bunch?
He's got 6. He's got 6, so he'd be rolling 6, keep 6.
Ooh.
But it is a very difficult role asking a mother to give up her child.
Oh.
If you want to
Do
take
it.
the honor
Do
role and
it.
swear upon your honor as a samurai that you will take care of her child.
Do it.
Punk,
Basically
if
asking
I
her-
do it, will you help me out? I'm counting on you, Punk.
Qui-Gon
I'm
Jinn
counting
this,
on you because I
Qui-Gon-
want this kid.
Qui-Gon Jinn this Kuro.
So I
Pretty
just
much
add
a
a
Qui-Gon Jinn moment.
so I add a 6 keep point. A 6 keep.
So what I would do is I've just in the roll for roll 20, if you type /R space 6d10.
Do I have any help from the audience? I really want this kid.
Keep 6 is a lot, to be fair. They can
really
they can
want this
still
kid.
explode.
Yeah.
It can still explode.
You're right. It can still explode, but at the same time, I want my honor.
No one's helping you
Yeah.
keep a child.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
I'm good.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going for it. Come here, kid.
Hey,
44.
and it still
Okay.
explodes.
Yep, roll /R2 more d10.
Oh,
/R2d10.
Please explode. Please
Oh,
continue to
oh,
explode.
And Chickabee gave you another d10 to roll.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm keeping
wow.
a kid. I'm gonna be a dad.
Okay, so we've got
56.
56. Yeah. So give me the speech. You like to give speeches. Give me the speech
Oh,
about
yeah.
how you will honorably take care of her child.
I got you, ma'am. On my honor, as the next head of the Kodo family, as the current representative of the Imperial Magistrate, I can promise you, your child will fit a role more befitting of anybody in their entire life, being right there, serving the Empress of our nation. He will go far and wide, delivering tales, delivering justice, helping people. I came here to help you people. Now think of your son doing the same. Somebody in your same situation. Your son is the one finding them in the attic, pulling them out the darkness, saying, I'm here to help you. You've been mistreated by that old woman and all these men for years. I know surely you don't want the same to be happening later down the line. for centuries to come. Let your son be one of the first few to start this change, only in the nation, but in the world as a whole. He's going to make history. I'm going to be the start, he's going to be the middle, and then his descendant is going to be the end. There is a change that is going to come, and you helped started it. Allow me to take your son, I beg of you.
Oh.
Good job. Good speech.
Thank you.
She is weeping. But she agrees that you can take Akira and raise him to be a better man than he probably would be if she was to continue to raise him. But she reaches into one of the sleeves of her kimono, and she hands you a small doll. It's not anything fancy. It's like a little rice doll made out of like spare fabric and things like that. It's his only toy and his favourite toy. See, the doll has been roughly sewn into the appearance of a samurai.
Oh, that's making me cry. Hold on.
Much to probably all of your dismay, though, the samurai, the colours in question are dark blue. She clearly modelled it off of a crab, because out of all the samurai that probably frequent the city, the crab are at least physically the most imposing. But yeah, it was his only toy and his favourite toy. It's a little doll filled with like rice to it's like a Beanie Baby type thing.
I gingerly take the toy, and I'm like, a sad look comes across my face as I clear my throat and speak up back to the crowd. Everybody, please listen for what I'm about to say next. This form of employment is not serviceable for you, women and kids. I don't want to see these kids grow up with a life like this no more. I am going to leave a small letter in your hands. Well, in one of your hands, if you all will come with me. I beg of you to go to my family's land and with my seal of approval, ask for work. Become servants in my household. Serve me. I beg of you. This is not work meant for you. This is not the best version of you. And I'm just gonna turn and like walk away as this sad face as I look at the door. Like, I do it. This is my son. Yeah, yay. So I'm basically giving them the offer to come work for my family. There we go.
They take the letter and they start to kind of file out of the tea house.
Come here. You can help me, that's fine.
Yeah. The rest of your
hero of the people.
Yeah. The rest of your leaving.
I'm going right to my son now. I'm running for my son. Oh,
hey, kiddo.
Chuck, man, leaving the dream for real. But yeah, I'm running back for my son now. That's my boy.
Okay, well, let me see.
Andy is rolling to see if my son gets kidnapped. Y'all about to see the worst rage of my life.
Nah, not yet. Too early for that.
Oh God! Wait! Whoa! Andy! Whoa! You ain't gotta scare me like that.
Right, hi. Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's good, dude. That's your family.
Yeah. Family is very important. If you haven't been able to tell with me.
Unfortunately, being nice to peasants doesn't really get you anything in the way of glory or honor, but
Oh, that's fine.
you don't lose any either. But yeah.
I'm not doing it for the honor. I'm doing it for the people.
Rework.
You all leave the tea house behind you. Shiru he was the first one to sort of out the door. You can see a lot of dead bandits essentially with arrows or very vicious looking cuts, and a few that look like they've been beaten to death with something heavy. Sort of scattering the streets as you make your way back down to the docks. As you sort of come onto the docks and you go towards the Gaijin's ship is still there. It's still the only ship in dock with any light on it, apart from the Mantis ship that's sort of lying behind it. You can see Yoritomo sort of looking out, and you swear you can see a sign of relief on his face. That he didn't have to ask this Gaijin captain to open fire on what he's hoping will shortly and like sooner than later be his city.
Okay.
But he calls out to you as you approach. Has the issue been dealt with, Emerald Magistrates? Antis to your satisfaction?
I say yes, and I keep like going towards. I say yes, and I'm just like hauling straight for my boy. Oh my god, my dog!
Kurokami, you can see the look of relief on Moshikimi's face.
Yeah,
as
make a
well.
beeline straight for her.
The Yoritomo sort of looking over at Kisho, and is our business here done?
It is quite satisfactory, thank you. And Kisho just, with everybody doing their thing, he is gonna not try to present the head to Kurakami, who is currently, engaging with said love lead. He's gonna make his way to Yoritomo. Bloody bag in hand.
So Haley, stop. Get down, girl.
Doggos.
And Yoritomo watches you kind of coming up towards the ship, with the bloody bag in hand. You can see the look of disgust on pretty much all of the Gaijin crew on their faces. Particularly the man in the grey robe looks absolutely like as if you've tried to cut his head off and put it in a bag. That's how he's kind of staring at you.
Stop licking my feet. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming that he's not trying to hide this look of disdain on his
Oh
face.
no, none of the Gaijin are looking or hiding the look of disgust.
Would you like to see it?
Is that a gift for me, Master Bayushi?
Unfortunately, it is not a gift for you. I have another gift for you, though, as well.
I'm sure our Gaijin guests it might be worth their time seeing what happens to those that overstep the mark when it comes to the Imperial throne.
I do believe so as well. They worked pretty closely with her, did they not?
I believe so. You can see there's a frustrated and confused look on the captain of the Gaijin ship's face as the two of you are talking in Rokogane. And it's maybe obvious that you're talking about him and his crew. Yoritomo is definitely not hiding that he's talking about them. You see the man in the grey robe, like, muttering something beneath his breath repeatedly. In
Something
Kurokami, you can't help but sense the discomfort in Lady Moshi as the priest starts to kind of mutter to himself.
I ask her quietly what's going on, what's wrong. I have a huge respect for the kami, but I don't know a goddamn thing about how they work.
He prays to his own foreign gods,
In
and it
Rokugan,
upsets the kami.
should I stop him?
I believe his prayers are meaning to cause any harm, but the kami are not impressed by the man's words.
If his words offend the kami, it would be but a small thing from their muttering.
Harming the old man would harm relations even further between my clan and their people.
But what is your will?
My will is for this business to be over and done with and to be back on the open sea.
Then he lives. Assuming that's what she meant, not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not for you to kill him. For the record, I did play a Kakita Julius that did kill a priest, but different situation, completely different situation. But yeah, Yoritomo gives you a nod, Kisho.
Kisho nods and he makes effort to look to the priest and he bows as well. And he makes his way back to the group over our shoulder. We have, whenever you're free, we have much to discuss.
So you showing them the head?
As I walk away, yep.
Some of the sailors will physically lean over the side of the ship and throw up. The captain of the ship has this look of understanding on his face, clearly taking the message. While Yoritomo signals for his men to get back upon his their own ship. Is they're sort of filing onto their own ship. Are you going with the Mantis, or are you going to maybe stay in the city, maybe go visit the doji?
I am gonna go to the docks. I have business to attend to still in the city.
You're not leaving with the Mantis then?
No.
Cool. Then yeah, Yoritomo get his crew back on the ship. Moshi Kimi will lightly place her hand on your cheek, Kurokami. I must be going. Or life take us in different paths.
Wait,
once
I'm on the
again.
ship still.
Oh yeah, you're getting your heads off the ship. You've kind of barged past them to go get Akira.
I thought it was leaving. I was like, wait a minute, I'm still up.
No, yeah, you'll have time to get off the ship. But yeah, Moshi sort of places her hand lightly on your cheek. Our paths take a different route. The Kami have different plans for us, but I'm sure our paths will meet once again. Lord Kakita.
I grab her hand and I say, "You don't call me that." And I give her a nice, cute little kiss.
Finally! I'm sorry.
As you give her a kiss, she closes her eyes. You can see the tears starting to well in her eyes. Whether those are tears of joy or sadness, most likely a mix of both. She doesn't let it linger too long before she turns and heads up the gangplank, leaving Yoritomo as the only mantis left on the dock of the Gaijin ship. He nods to the four of you. I thank you and the Empress for the assistance of some Emerald Magistrate in dealing with this problem. And then he turns to the captain of the Gaijin ship and says something in their native tongue to him that seems like an order before he sort of hops on the gangplank of his own ship and gives another bow. Probably the first time that he's actually properly bowed to the four of you, despite you being Emerald Magistrate, from the middle of the gangplank before he turns his back again and disappears onto the ship. And you see the crew starting to pull the plank back, and they clearly start to lift anchor.
I think me and Shitagami kind of like stand there to watch them pass over the horizon, or however far it is that they get away.
Yeah. They sort of sail off into the night. Probably doesn't take long before they disappear into the darkness. The Gaijin ship, they start to kind of lift anchor and things as well. Clearly Yoritomo told him to leave dock, that he has no business being here anymore. And he starts, the Gaijin ship slowly starts to kind of set sail from the dock as well. Going off in a slightly different direction from Yoritomo's ship. Leaving 4 samurai and a child on the dock. On a wolf. What is your intention after this?
I think I kind of just look down to the wolf and look to everybody past me and say, where do we go now?
Why don't we just get this started? I don't need another pointless story.
Kisho takes this moment to approach Kurakama and present him the bag.
With a head in it?
Yep.
Okay. Kisho is presenting a head in a bag to you, Kurokami.
I know that you wished to be the one to bring her to justice, but I hope this will do.
Somebody I should bring this to?
Do with it what you will.
Well, she did offend my family, so maybe we should bring it to them. Plus, I need to make a new sword. If you guys want to go to... I'm not sure where we could do that, but it's up to you.
I'm open to this.
Would I get a sense that like our mission that we came here for is pretty much like this is what it was?
Yeah,
Part of it at least.
it's probably safe to say that this is probably the issues that the Emerald Champion was suggesting that you go and investigate when he sent you here. He knew it had something to do with the Mantis, but he probably didn't have the exact details on what it would be that you'd be heading into. And he surely didn't expect that a member of his own clan would have been acting so dishonorably in the first place. Or maybe that's exactly why he sent you.
Then we should bring it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring
Yeah,
this...
I would say that to the party, that I think we should return to the Imperial City.
Cool.
Blade forged beneath the Emerald Throne. I like it.
I'm going to agree with that because now he wants to talk to his uncle.
We can't hear you, buddy. You're real quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. My dog. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. Oh, Kuro is going to agree because now he wants to go with his uncle. And probably stop home on the way.
Right. In that case, this head is going to be well and truly rotten by the time you take it to Otosan Uchi.
There's no gentle repose in Rokugan.
No. It probably is if you're a Shigenja. But yeah, you leave Murasabishi Toshi. You probably don't even say farewell to Lord or Lady Doji. And you head north, back to the Imperial capital.
Are we riding on horse?
No,
Walking.
on foot.
Okay, that's
No
fine.
one owns horses. But
Well, we could have acquired some horses in the name of Imperial Magistrates.
they're expensive. You might get one eventually. But yeah, you travel for a few weeks. North through Crane lands, through lands belonging to what was formerly the Wasp clan. Now the Sorichi family of the Manus family clan. And into Otosan Uchi, the imperial capital, and to the Forbidden City, where, when presented with the token of Imperial Magistrates, the Emerald Legionnaires stationed at the gates stand aside and let you in. An attendant asks you to politely wait at the Emerald Champions sort of apartments. Again, similar to the first time you came here, present you with warm water and clean cloths to wash your feet and your face and your hands and stuff with, and some warm sake and some light food while you wait for the Imperial Champion.
Shh. Shush.
He eventually arrives in about the same amount of splendor and pomp as the first time you met him. He's looking a little bit more extravagant this time, even. He's actually wearing almost what you would consider full geisha style makeup as he comes in. And other than the guards around the palace, he is the only one in the room allowed to keep a hold of his katana. He lightly bows to the four of you, expecting you all to bow much deeper to him in return. And then takes a seat in the front of his living room.
Yeah, I finish bowing in what would be the proper ceremony to deliver a head, I guess. I bow and place it in like a bowl at his feet or something. Expecting a servant to immediately bring me some like salt water to scrub my hands with.
Yeah.
I give a deep bow and I just take his seat.
Same.
He looks at the head of the old woman. And you see a bit of a frown on his face. This is not a face I recognise. Who was this old woman?
I believe Bayushi Kisho would fill you in.
She was the head of the Yoshimura of the city. She was responsible for all the ongoings and the problems we were having. She also happened to have her hands on the young Kaito Doji, which presents a larger problem. As it seems like they were doing a rather ineffectual job of running the city.
He arches an eyebrow. The Emerald Champion is a crane, and the Doji family are the ruling family of the clan. That is indeed troubling.
Would not broach the subject, but it is quite troubling. As when we arrived, we were brought into the red light district by the Sun, who claimed to be in charge, who that home happened to be that of this fine woman, who apparently had been pulling the strings while Lady Doji and the Lord seemingly did nothing and watched as their son run amok. And yet the Yushimuro dig their claws into the great city.
He
So they're not... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
he sort of straightens up. You're suggesting that honourable members of the Doji family allowed a brothel keeper to puppet one of their own?
I don't believe that they allowed it so much as their lack of concern for the city gave birth to it.
He looks over the other three. And is this all true? Not that I'm implying that an esteemed member of the Scorpion clan would tell mistruth.
Who would do something like that? Scorpion?
Never.
But Kuro gives a nod. He says, yes, Imperial Magistrate.
Champion. Or magistrate.
Champion.
Oh, Champion Magistrate. Sorry. My dogs are in the room and they're being dogs.
All good, bud.
But yes, he does agree. He's like, yes.
I just nod. Don't say anything.
His eyes then narrow on Kurokami. Is it true?
As far as I know it, Scorpion tells the truth. There is something else. Sun was permitted to leave under rule. Also, his protector and his father's gate.
That is why you bring me the head of the brothel keeper, not a member of the Doji family's head.
We being allowed that jurisdiction?
I'm sorry, did you just say that this wasn't Lady Doji's head?
Yep, it's not Lady Doji's head. Lady Kagami.
Yep.
Then surely I should inform the Doji family that they need to find better caretakers of such an important trade city. Then he kind of glances back towards Kisho. Unless you have another suggestion.
That I do. the Mantis captain, Yoritomo, was quite helpful in the arrangement, and not only helping us remove the Yoshimuro threat to the city, but also protecting those within the city while we were cleaning out the issue. I feel it would only make sense, and I mean absolutely no disrespect to your family, to have the city's control handed over to the Mantis clan.
I am unhappy.
Yeah, I was about to say I make like an outward expression and like I'm about to say something to that, and then I don't because I don't want to be disrespectful.
Kuro actually comes out of his brain rot, just like, oh, like interesting.
I know that it is my duty to be impartial. My allegiance lies to the Emperor first and my clan third, but I'm not particularly enthused at the idea of stripping the Crane clan, city that has belonged to them for as long as I remember.
If you have courtier or etiquette, could you give me roles, please?
Me or
Anyone that has those skills can make the role.
I have that skill.
I'm pretty sure I don't. Oh wait, I have etiquette. That's surprising.
Okay. So Kisho and Kurokami, you notice a shift in the Emerald Champion's breathing. He sort of takes slightly deeper breaths as if calming himself down, but without trying to show any change in emotion. What you say is true. We are supposed to serve the Empire over clan allegiances.
Maybe we're two of a kind.
And I don't disagree that maybe the current governors of the city are not suited for the task. But giving control of the province to another clan? That seems like a way to cause another clan war within the Empire.
Guess I fought him.
I say, this cannot come to pass. Things are too fragile. I do not wish to speak for you. Such things are our duty to prevent, correct? That's why we have been commissioned as magistrates.
As magistrates, you're expected to make difficult decisions at times on behalf of the Emperor. But handing one province to another clan, I believe, will cause more tension than it will fix. So, I'm sorry to tell you, Lord Bayoshi, any promises that you might have made to this month's captain will have to be broken.
He simply nods.
Shiro has a deep sigh of relief.
I will, however, speak up.
Follow the wind. But watch
Then
your back.
I believe that it's best that he be rewarded for his actions, not just for the selfish service that he acted, but also for the possible clan war that was also just prevented in this, because this could also be seen as a takeover for them. They went through the city. They helped clean out an infestation. They should be at least rewarded for their actions. If you forgive me for speaking out of turn, I say
Cap-
as I give a deep bow.
Captain of this ship is a member of the Yoritomo family, of the leading family of the Mantis clan, you say.
That is correct.
I'm sure when I speak to the Imperial Treasurer, who is of a shared kinship with this captain, he will probably be more than generous in whatever reward he deems to pay his distant relative.
Before we conclude things, I have a feeling that we're about to start wrapping things up.
Yep.
I do want to tell my cousin that I need a favor.
Then ask.
I say, I'm sure you're aware, as all members of our clan are, that when I was born under a certain sign, and that the day of my death was written long before the day of my birth. I'm about to embark on this journey, and I have sworn my family's sword in service to that fate. Though I carry with me my honor, a new weapon is what I require. A
You see
daikatana.
him,
A nodachi, I believe it's called in the setting.
he raises his eyebrow. You gave away a Kakita blade without a promise. I'll speak to the Imperial Smiths and see if we can get you a nodachi, if that is your request, instead of a katana.
I would like to forge it myself with their help.
While I give your companions here some time to return to their own lands and deal with their own business as samurai, then you may stay in the Imperial capital as my guest and spend some times in the smithy working on a new blade.
I bow and thank
You'll all be compensated. Obviously, the role of an Imperial Magistrate does come with a salary. Not that such petty things matter to honourable samurai, but having coin on one's person does help, I'm led to believe. I'll arrange rooms for you this evening, and then in the morning, I'll have attendants come to you with your payment. And then you're free to return to wherever it is your hearts may be destined to go.
Is he mad at me, Andy? Is he
Oh.
mad at me?
Probably safe to.
You just gave away a family sword.
Yeah.
I could feel that from here.
Okay,
He is not pleased.
that's fine.
I will send another summons for you when I have another task that needs done on behalf of the Emperor. For now, you have all conducted yourself well, and you deserve some rest. With that, he sort of gets up and excuses himself. The attendants, like last time, will lead you to rooms. There is a common room available for you. And unless you have any parting words to say to each other, in the morning you are given a coin purse with a substantial amount of coin in it. 20 cocoa each.
I can get more kids.
Yeah.
Why is it in every campaign I play and somebody's trying to adopt a bunch of things?
Kuro hitting up all the geishas from here
Eh.
across the land trying to adopt children.
It happens
We have a clan of warriors.
in every game.
Man of 10-year-old warriors.
Now, the Emerald Champion is probably the most decorated Bushi in Rokugan. And for completing a quest in L5R, you are rewarded glory equal to half the amount of the person who issued the task. So you guys have all gained 5 points of glory.
Wow.
I'm
And
at
you-
7.
You can all officially adjust your status to that of an Emerald Magistrate, which is 4.5.
Ooh.
Woo!
And with the exception of Derek,
Oh no.
Oh, no.
the rest of you can all gain 2 additional points of honor.
Oh, poggers.
That's a way too high.
So
for me,
it's
man.
5
People
points
gonna
of glory.
Alright, you'll lose it soon enough, Keisha.
5
You're
points.
now
Of,
at a level when doing shit will now lose you honor.
Oh god damn it.
so it's
Uh,
5 points of glory, and I don't get 2 points of honor, right?
You don't get 2 points of honor because it's a bigger insult to him that you gave away your sword.
Well, at least I was honest.
Yeah, you were honest. That's why you're not losing any additional honor.
Hey, not losing additional honor. Let's go.
And with that, you're free to head back to your respective homes for a
Oh,
period
wait,
of...
Andy.
Oh, you want to speak
So-
to your uncle?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll deal with that next session.
Okay,
We'll
before I
start-
want to
we'll
leave,
start
I
with
want to
you.
talk to my uncle.
We'll start with you before you leave to go home because your uncle's going to have words for you, and then your folks
Oh,
are going to
no.
have some serious words for you.
Oh, no.
So there's going to be a few things to roleplay out in your downtime. But yeah, next session we'll start with the downtime. You guys can tell me what you're planning to do when you return home, and anything that requires any role playing we'll do. The downtime will probably take a few months in game. So that should be plenty of time to forge a new sword, and time for the rest of you to kind of maybe do some roleplay within your own clans, with your spouses, with your family, and then you'll receive
And
an
my new
opportunity.
secret lover.
And we can start our next adventure as Emerald Magistrates.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
My uncle is going to be like, yeah, so who's that kid you're with? Oh, that Akira? That's
Dishonor.
my,
But yeah, no cliffhanger this session. We have wrapped up the first adventure of Heart of an Empire. And
nice.
next session we'll be doing a lot of downtime and jumping into the second adventure. So
All right, let's go ahead and start
Man,
doing
man.
what's it? Shout outs with Chuck.
Hi. So this week, I also didn't plan anything. So nope, that's a lie. I planned one thing. So RPG auctions. Like I'm not sure if anybody's tried to get 4E books anytime lately, but you know, they're kind of ridiculous when it comes to price. It's literally a bunch of people selling old books for pretty decent prices. Like I was able to grab most of the books well below what people are asking for them. And yeah, it's a great tool. I'd also like to shout out obviously everybody here like I usually do. Got Derek with the lovely DMDM Studios, which let's be real, it's a full it's a television channel now. There's so many programs on here. There's
Weekend.
bound to be something you like. Yep. Like, there's bound to be something you like. Obviously, Will, everybody, you know Will's out there doing stuff. Candle's there. Eddie, beautiful Eddie, who I'm expecting a poem now at the end of every session. Like,
You want a poem today?
every session, I need a poem now.
Okay, let
And,
me grab my phone. I got one written down somewhere. God.
and then
damn it.
obviously, like usual, Andy, like Savinar, you commission him, like even just anybody here, just talk to them. They're amazing people. They're amazing people, and Andy with another absolute masterclass in game mastering. Like, so those are my shout outs for tonight, and I'm not gonna promise anything for next week because I'm just gonna break that promise. So.
Will.
Oh yeah. Few things I got going on real quick. I have a world building community project going on. Stuff about that's all over my Twitter. Also, I'm a goblin. We're doing a gift exchange
I'm a
on
goblin.
Twitter.
Yes!
Chuck is involved in that as well, and
Yes!
so is Andy. So if you want to get involved in that, also check Twitter. It's gonna be pretty fun. And the only other thing is, I have 9 honor now, so
Fucking go.
so let's go.
Oh yeah. All right. Eddie.
I'm back. I'm just looking for my book. I'm looking for a poem, one of my poetry books. You can go on. I'm looking for a book now.
Andy.
Okay, well, I am going to plug myself a little bit here. On Wednesday on my own Twitch channel, I'm going to be running another session of Fractured Crystals, which is a heavily Final Fantasy inspired game using the Anima Beyond Fantasy system. If you've not heard of Anima Beyond Fantasy, don't worry, it's a mess of a system. But it does a really good job capturing that high-powered anime type feel, and they're currently working on a second edition, which hopefully irons out some of the bumps in the system. And our lovely Punk Drum in the chat is one of my players there, as is Masashi over on Twitter. I don't know if she was in the chat this evening. Sometimes she joins in as well. And three of my other friends actually, Sophie, Ross and Steve, who aren't on Twitter or anything like that, but they are fantastic players to play with. And Punk Drum and Ross have been people that I've been playing with since high school, so they are well and truly used to my style of GMing. And I'm also going to shout out Derek. Me and Derek are currently working on a magic item set for 5th edition. Which we are currently putting together a PDF for. And me and Chuck are also working on a webcomic called Dice Breakers, which is going to be a little 4-panel webcomic making fun at 5th edition and all the stupid rules that are involved with that. I'm not going to mention any of them because it will be spoilers, but it should be fun. And that's me.
Awesome stuff, Andy. Yeah, I'm going to be working on that tonight once my wife goes to bed, so go ahead and take it, Eddie.
Wait, fine, I'll go with this one. This
We're getting double Eddie.
bump you, Chuck. Bump you, Chuck. I have to go with one that I recently read. I didn't even iron this one out. Sameli. No, November Breeze. Written by Eddie Jones. The passions of summer slowly starts to whimper and moan as the golden green leaves turn to a softened brown of the emerald rose. One must question why is a rose the color of fall, because it changes with every single dawn, from black to red, red to blue, colors of all shades, to mention every coming wave. A coming wave of emotion and sincerity, a coming wave of emotions unregularly. This is a coming wave of sincerity unto you. This is my dying rose. That's it.
Good job, Eddie. That's cute.
Beautiful.
That's very cute. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Setting of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, somebody, thank you. Okay, Andy got the message. I have read it out to my sister. She did not understand it. This is why I wanted to iron it out more. I'll have a better one next week. My shout outs is to everybody. Will has some really nice stuff on his Twitter. I'm just going to say that. Chuck is really fun to mess around with. Chuck, when are we going to play games? I have to get in contact with you later. Derek, I was at his last. It was a ghoul. I think it was Pathfinder.
It's
No,
fine.
it wasn't Pathfinder. It's 5e.
Yeah.
Okay. It gave a ghoul 2 advantages. That was really fun to see play out. I didn't really understand the thing with the mirrors until the end. So I was really happy about that. And Andy, I got to get in contact with Andy later on to get some commissions done. I got 4 of them I want to get done from Andy, but I'm gonna keep that hidden and have him post that out once I get them done because they are going to be related to the story.
Oh,
Oh,
That's my shout outs.
look forward to that.
Awesome, man.
I got to get in contact with you later on about that, Andy. Stop, Sameli. Stop licking my leg.
Awesome. Thanks, Eddie. Okay.
She's a puppy.
Wonderful poem as always. So first shout outs, everybody here, obviously. Chuck, follow him on Twitter, follow all the stuff he does. He's fantastic. He's an awesome craftsman. He makes really cool like craft stuff, talking like cosplay, all that kind of stuff he shares sometimes. It's fucking dope. Follow Will on Twitter and on Twitch as well. Sub to him if you can. He is an affiliate. Your boy got that affiliate. Also commission him for maps. He makes fucking phenomenal maps with Incarnate. I'm trying to get like him. Eddie, he's also on Twitch. Sub him. Follow him on Twitter as well. Awesome guy. Great energy. Andy, Lost Haven Art. I'm doing so much with my boy Andy here, and I'm so stoked about it. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that magic item set that we're working on. Commission Andy. He makes awesome stuff. He's made so much stuff for the channel, and I'm gonna continue getting stuff through him. That's pretty much it for what I wanted to shout out, because I usually shout out everybody at the end of every show. Also, Wolves Den, thank you for all the production that you run, man. I know I thank you like every show, but I'm gonna thank you again because you deserve it. Tomorrow, Curse of Strahd, technically Tuesday at 12:30 in the morning. Curse of Strahd, Rise of Alma, the heavily modified one. So if you're up at those hours, catch me then. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna go ahead and raid Vancouver by Night. They are friends of the channel. And
Let's raid Bards and Brews.
oh, Bards and
Did
Brews
I-
is going. Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic. Yeah, he's newer to it, so
Yeah. I
fantastic.
think they might be running a Dragon Age game, maybe.
Oh yeah,
I
we're
think they
gonna.
rotate what game they run on a Sunday, but it might be Dragon Age.
Okay, let me make sure that I'm getting this right.
But it doesn't matter. It's
a
a raid.